Okay. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hello. Welcome to the Cheesed to Meet You interview streams. This is number 7. And welcome, everybody. Pretty excited today. As everyone who's been following this series probably knows, I've always been interviewing Danganronpa or Vocaloid focused guests. So feels like today is a perfect blend of the two, as I have a very special guest with me today. So let's just get into it and say hello to Mcki. Hello. It's very cheesed to meet you, Mcki.
It's cheese to meet you.
Okay, so I think like I mentioned this to you before, but like I don't remember if this is like the first time I've heard your voice, really. Cause you don't really do like self covers, do you?
No, yeah, well, I can't really sing that well. So I think I have made a voiceover video once a while ago.
But
I think I might have privated it, so...
So, hello everyone, voice reveal. you wanna like just quickly say hello to all your fans, probably?
Hello, thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that I have fans at all. It must be nice.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just mention it now, but this is the first time I've had the guest also make a post about asking for questions. We have like an influx. I've never had this many audience questions before on your post especially. So we have like 70 audience questions today. We'll see how many we can get through today, but you know, it's very nice that people are excited. But before we get into that, you should probably introduce yourself for anyone who doesn't know who you are.
Alrighty, I'm Mcki Robyns. I go by she, her, and I make Vocaloid songs and covers. And I'm most well known for making Danganronpa songs.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know, what year did, 'Cause I'm a Liar come out? I can't remember.
Oh god. 2017, I think? I don't know.
Oh, damn.
I haven't checked for a while.
That's true. Probably since like V3 came out. Okay, we'll get to that. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming to the stream, and I hope you enjoyed this little interview. So yeah, you're probably best known as a English original music producer with Vocaloid. I was wondering when or how did you discover Vocaloid in the first place?
Yeah, so basically the first video I ever watched about Vocaloid was like elders react to Vocaloid. What a great way to be introduced. Yeah. Because I was sort of in like an anime phase, and I was like, oh, this looks sort of anime-ish. And I'm not sure if I like fell in love with the music the first time I heard it, but I did fall in love with Len, so that was enough. And then I looked into more music, and I was like, oh my god, this is really awesome.
Yeah,
like, it's so creative and unique, and I was hooked.
Yeah, I remember because like I'd been into Vocaloid since at least like 2009 or 2010. So I remember when this video actually came out, oh my god, when React was like a weekly thing I would watch, and I was like, oh my god, they were reacting to Vocaloid. And I just remember like this guy on the thumbnail, he had like really nice things to say, and I was like, oh sheesh, like that's pretty cool, because everyone's like, what the heck is this? And he's like, technology is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, technology is amazing. Oh, wait, can't hear a thing? Wait, is everything okay? without audio, by the way. Just want to make sure that that's okay, because somebody in the chat is like, I can't hear a thing. Hopefully that the stream is okay. But yeah, I remember when this came out. It was pretty, like, I'm sure it exposed a lot of people to Vocaloid. Because it's just like random channel that has like a ton of viewers, and it's like, oh, what the heck is this Vocaloid thing? But yeah, so you liked Len first. I was wondering if you could kind of remember what are the first songs maybe you'd listen to.
I wish I could remember like the first one I listened to, but I did re-find one recently that was one of my favorites. I think it's called Indulging Idol Syndrome.
Oh, that sounds very familiar. Is that one of... Wait, that must not be a very recent song. Wait, let me look it up. Indulging Idol Syndrome. I think I remember. Is that the Rin and Len one? No, it's the Kumi and Mayu one.
yeah.
That's right. Oh my god. Yeah, that's right. Because when I was talking to Rice also brought this up. Rice also brought this up because
really?
Rice drew some like Danganronpa fan art in these outfits. That's so funny.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
I want to see that actually.
You can go look at Rice's interview later. Because, like, yeah, you told me the only one that you watched was Circus's interview, which is fine. It's just fun. I mean, we'll also... I have a question to ask about Circus for you later, but we'll do that later. But clearly you say Len was your favorite at the start.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, who are your favorites for Vocaloid and Vicents?
So I still really like Len. But I don't really like his English vocal a lot, just because it's a bit muffled. But his Japanese is great. And then Fukuse, obviously. I mean, there's a reason I keep using him. And then for synth Vs, I really like Solaria. And also Yuma, because I didn't really know... I think I'd maybe heard of Yuma once before I started asking for suggestions for the Nagito vocals. But now that I've like used him properly and heard him, I'm like, oh my god, I love this vocal so much.
It's like, it's interesting to me when they released a bunch of these and it's like there's no box art or anything, there's no character, it's just their name, and I'm like, how do we get attached to this? I love the colors of the U.
Yeah, look at that beautiful greedy yellow. Yeah.
But like, yeah, the vocal quality is really great, I think. And I think I also was like, Yuma sounds pretty good. Because that was the first time you asked people for which vocalist to use, right? For a song?
Yeah.
Yeah, that turned out pretty good. I remember like seeing when you posted that, I was like, oh my gosh, and there were like a ton of comments. Like, how did you end up like picking one? Were you like, okay, I see this name the most, or were you like, okay, the general vibe is this? I
went through each comment and like counted.
You actually tallied?
It took a long time. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's dedicated. I was thinking like, yeah, it's like, did you count every single comment that you got? That's a ton.
Yeah, it should take a long time. But I'm really glad Yuma got chosen. So.
Yeah, it sounds really good. And I'm very happy, like, obviously. I was waiting for a Kawaii fan song, and because you watched Circus's interview, you probably saw that bit where I was like, oh yeah, the fan song.
Yeah.
Thank you for making it real. I really appreciate it. Anyway,
no problem.
So you also own a couple of voice banks now, and we'll just show it off on screen. But you have a lot. I wonder, do you remember which one was the first one that you got?
Oh. No, I don't actually. I actually used to have more voice banks, but I moved computers like more than a year ago, I think. So a lot of the voice banks that I had I guess I didn't transfer them over properly, and I lost them, so I had to rebuy some of them.
Yeah, because I remember like
Cyberdiva
yeah, I was gonna say Cyberdiva, and she's not here in this little image thing.
Yeah.
Wait, so like, did you just? Because like I assume with voice banks when they're digital, right? You have like a license code or something that you can activate, but it's like, can you only activate them one time or something? Is that why when you transfer them to a different computer, it's a little weird?
Yeah, that's the issue with it. So, which is frustrating.
I mean, out of all the voice banks that are on screen right now, who are your top go-tos to use at the moment?
I mean, it really depends on the song. I mean, obviously, Kukase would be one of them. And for a cover, probably Solaria or Kevin, if I was going to use Synth V. But otherwise, it would depend on like the tone of the song.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I know Fukase like has a bit of like a weird thing going on to even use his vocals. Like, how, like, is that annoying for you?
I've never run into issues with it.
Because you have to ask for permission, right?
Yeah, I did contact them about getting permission, and I got no reply at all.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, well, I tried. So,
like, to me, it's just like, it's so strange to think that they would make a voice bank, but then you would have to ask for permission to use it every time. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, it is bizarre.
Because I feel like he's also the only voice bank that has that requirement.
Yeah, I think there might be some lesser known ones that have something like that as well, but
he's like the bestest boy.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I mean, do you have any favorite Vocaloid producers? Doop. Of course you do.
Well, yeah. My number one favorite is Moretu. And Kairiki Bear would be a close second. But I have lots of Vocaloid producers that I like. Like, the ones on screen is not a comprehensive list. They're just the ones that are the first to come to my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many awesome producers out there and so many awesome songs.
Have you, because I wonder, like, you know, like, the whole, like, Kagero project era, which, like, kind of inevitably, like, tanked, I guess, Vocaloid for a period. Like, I was wondering, like, how... Was there a period where you also, like, just stopped listening to Vocaloid for a bit? Because, like, I remember I probably went through that. I was like, there's not a lot of songs that I'm interested in because a lot of them turned, like, story-based. And I was like, I don't know if I'm interested necessarily in a song series.
I guess it didn't really bother me. So I sort of stuck with it. It was more important to me that the song sounded good. Yeah. Like, sometimes I wouldn't even check what the lyrics mean. I'd just go,
so, you know what? That's true. So many times I'm just like, songs sound good. What does it mean? I don't know. That's funny. I mean, do you have any favorite non-Vocaloid music artists or music genres that you enjoy?
I really should branch out more, honestly, because I do mostly stick to Vocaloid.
You know, that's the same for me.
Like, yeah. But there are other, like, Japanese producers that don't use Vocaloid, but that I also really like. So, but yeah, I really should listen to more different types of music. But then I go, but Vocaloid is enough.
Yeah.
There's so many cool songs. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, that's kind of like, what do I listen to? You know, Vocaloid and anime or game OSTs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of all I need, you know. And whatever becomes like so mainstream popular that I have to like, I just find it on my recommended. I'm like, okay, I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
I mean, so okay, how, what, or like, when did you even get into music producing in the first place? Because it's not something like, at least for my perspective, I'm like, it feels like something you have to, you know, put in a lot of time to learn. You can't just like play around and like make stuff at the start. I don't know, like, were you self-taught when it comes to that kind of thing, or did you actually like take classes or go to school for it?
Yeah, I am pretty much self-taught. I was writing lyrics for a long time before I started making any music. I was mostly just doing it for fun, pretty much. And then, I mean, you can sort of just play around with it, especially in the beginning. I mean, there is like some basic knowledge you should have, or it's just not gonna sound good. But I think that's how I learned, just through like trial and error, and then along the way learning new things. So yeah, you can be self-taught. Maybe I could have gotten better faster if I like actually took classes and stuff like that. But yeah.
I mean, like, what programs did you start with? Was it like GarageBand or something like that?
I used LMMS, which is like a free software. It's like sort of like FL Studio, but not as good.
I have not heard of it. What was it called again?
LMMS.
LMMS. It's like, you think? Wait. It's like, all right, guys, go download this. Go download this program. We don't know what it's actually called.
Yeah. Go download this malware. No, yeah, it is LMMS. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so, like, you were just playing around, making stuff that sounded okay, because like you said, you started with lyrics, but like, how do you, like, I don't know, to me, I'm just like, how do you write lyrics without like music?
Yeah, well, sometimes I would like listen to a song and then get an idea for melody off that. I mean, you have to be careful not to copy their melody. But I think that's what I was mostly doing. Actually, I think I started off with just poetry with no like melody to it. It was not very good poetry. But yeah, and then I guess, yes, at some point went, oh, make them into lyrics.
That's pretty neat. So, I don't know, it's because like, I mean, the world of music production is so like far away from anything I've ever tried, so I'm like, I don't know, sometimes, you know, you just hum a random tune and you're like, hey, that's music. But like, I've never thought more deeply about like producing a song and stuff like that. I don't know, it's pretty cool. I mean, did that lead you to creating your YouTube channel? To like, did you make it because you want to just post your stuff there, or like get your work out into the world? What led to the creation of the channel?
I can't completely remember, if I'm going to be honest, because it was so long ago. But I think I just wanted to have fun making songs and get them out somewhere.
Because like,
so,
yeah, because I know, like, obviously you're Mcki Robyns-P, and P kind of comes from like the earlier, I guess, Vocaloid community kind of thing, because like producers now don't necessarily keep the P, but I was like wondering, like, is the P something that you added because you thought all Vocaloid producers should have, or you were like, I kind of like the way the P sounds?
I think a bit of both, just to make it sort of recognizable as well. I have been considering removing it recently.
Oh, well, if you do, I'll remove it from the title of the stream too.
Okay.
But yeah, so, I mean, because we mentioned Cyberdiva, but I believe that Cyberdiva was the first vocal that you used for an original song. This one's called Ephemeral. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about it. Like, was this the first Vocaloid original song that you made, or had you made others, but this was like the first one you posted?
This was the first one I ever made, which you can sort of tell by how the quality of it. It wasn't the first lyrics I ever wrote. I guess at the time I thought that those were the best lyrics I'd come up with, so I decided to use those ones. But I remember at the time I didn't know anything about keys. So I think if you listen to it, you can hear that some of it is out of key and some of the harmonies are off key as well. But yeah, it was a good learning experience in the end.
Because I think I saw like in the comments of this one, like someone was like, "This was my favorite," and I'm like, "Oh, that's very nice." It's probably to hear, especially back then. You were like, "Oh wow," but like obviously as time passed and your like skills improve and everything, do you look back at this like? Because I wonder like. If you go back and listen to your first original songs, do you feel like you're like, oh, that's kind of cringe, or are you more like, oh, I'm proud that I made this and I've improved a ton?
I mean, there is like a little bit of cringe, but I mean, I guess I am proud that I started, and yeah, I guess it was just all part of the learning process. So, yeah, I do occasionally go back and listen to them, maybe like once a year. Yeah, I don't know, it's been such a long time. But
that's fine. But I guess like I was wondering, was Cybertiva the first voice bank that you purchased?
I can't. It might have been. I can't remember. I think I had. No. I think I had Gumi first.
Oh, Gumi! I love Gumi. Gumi is like my favorite, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how she sounds.
So, I mean, I guess you got. Wait, did you? Because you got Gumi, right? But was it with her English voice bank or like still her Japanese only at the time?
With her English.
I can't remember. Have you made any Gumi English songs?
I mean, there is Perfect Fiction, but I got Circus to
right.
one, so.
Oh,
I think I did make a Gumi cover.
I remember like Circus saying that he helped you with one, and I was like, wait, but you hadn't even finished V3 at that point.
Oh really? You hadn't?
No, like I think he only recently finished playing V3.
Oh.
Oops. Spoilers. What? Anyway.
Yeah. It's like the biggest spoiler you could give as well.
Oopsie. Anyway, thanks, bestie. I mean, so do you ever look back at your earlier work and think you want to like remake them, or are you content with just like letting them be what they were and moving on to like new stuff?
I did start remaking Ephemeral like a
while
really ago.
Ooh.
But then I didn't come back to it for quite a while. So, but I might finish it off. Just because, why not? And I also want to remake Drown in It. So.
Wait, sorry, which one? Drown?
It's an older one as well. Drown in It.
I see. Well, that's neat. Like, I don't know. Would you like rebuild it from like scratch, or like still keep the same music stuff? I don't know, the backing instrumentals, I mean.
Well, for Ephemeral, since I did it in LMMS, I am sort of redoing the whole thing in FL Studio and sort of changing some of the melodies around as well, but mostly keeping the same stuff. Oh, and rewriting some of the lyrics.
And tuning them on key this time.
Yes, definitely.
it'll be a great makeover.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel like we have to talk about your original fan songs because was the Danganronpa ones your first dip into creating fan songs?
Yeah. I'd never really considered making a fan song like before that. I guess I just finished Danganronpa V3 and I obviously really like Kokichi. And I think I was on like a road trip and I just sort of happened to come up with the chorus and then build on it. And then I was like, might as well make this into a song. So that's how it happened.
You know, like, it's so funny because in Rice's interview, we were both just saying, like, you know what? And one way to become really passionate about your craft, get into Danganronpa.
Yeah.
You know, if you get into Danganronpa, you're gonna make tons of, like, works, and then you're just gonna improve it a lot. But yeah, because, like, I guess it was because you really liked Kokichi, and that, like, I guess, like, inspired you to just write about him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because, like, I think before this, you had made, like, covers of other songs. Like, was it in Undertale and stuff like that? You had made covers? Like, were those lyrics written by you? Or, because, like, obviously Undertale doesn't have lyrics to its music, but, did you just make covers based on other people's lyrics?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, like, this one was really just, like, the first one you're like, this is mine!
Yeah!
So,
yeah,
wait, like, well, I'll ask that question later, actually. But, I mean, 'Cause I'm a Liar is definitely, I would say, one of your most recognizable works. And I was wondering, like, how did you feel once that got posted? Like, because clearly, I feel like you probably didn't have Danganronpa on your channel before, but then you just had a sudden influx of Danganronpa fans coming to you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you kind of remember how you felt?
I think when it was getting popular, there was like a bit of disbelief, really. Yeah, I guess I never expected it to get so big. And then, I got a heap of Danganronpa fans coming over, and I was like, if they like Danganronpa songs, maybe I'll make some more. So,
because, like, I guess, I wonder if you feel any pressure to create songs for characters now, because this one, like, took off and was so popular, and, like, I guess the fans might just be like, oh, can you make another one? Can you make another one? I feel like, do you still make character focus songs because you genuinely want to, or is it because maybe you feel pressure because it's kind of expected from you?
Yeah, there is a bit of pressure, honestly. Because I do get a lot of comments saying, oh, make a song for this character, or this character. Which, it doesn't really bother me anymore, because I sort of just see it as like a compliment or like a suggestion. But before it was like, oh, you're like asking me to take months and months to work on this one song, and what if I don't like that character? What if I don't want to?
Wait, okay, let me ask on that note, have you ever made a fan song? You don't have to say who, but have you ever made a fan song for a character you didn't necessarily like?
Yeah.
Oops.
Like, I don't hate any of them, but
you weren't just like as passionate. You're like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Obligation.
Yeah,
I mean,
sort of.
I feel like because you've made a lot of like V3 character-focused songs. So I was wondering, like, clearly you must really enjoy V3 then. Is V3 your favorite Danganronpa game then?
Yeah, I think overall, the story and the characters are my favorite.
Okay. I was like, get Kokishi off the screen now, please. Okay, sweet. But okay, I was wondering, like, how or when did you get into Danganronpa then? Was it because of V3, or were you like a fan from before then?
So ages ago, I just happened to come across the Danganronpa 1 anime. And I didn't even know there was a game. And it was good. Sort of enjoyed it, then forgot about it. And then I think I happened to come across a video about Danganronpa 2, and it actually spoiled the jest for me, which sort of sucks. But I saw Komaeda, and I was like, that looks like the sort of character that I really like. So I played that, and it was really good and enjoyed it. And then I waited so eagerly for V3 to come out. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I heavily relate to that statement about Komaeda. Oh, that's so funny. I mean, that's the thing, right? So most of your, I guess, fan songs were all Danganronpa focused, but then the first one outside of V3, at least, was the Komaeda, Nagito Komaeda fan song. And I was wondering, I mean, do you have plans to do songs for other characters not from V3? Because I think I remember seeing one of your posts saying that the next song you're planning is for Himiko, I think? So it's like returning to V3.
Yeah, that might be the last one for V3, honestly. I'm not completely sure, but I think after that I'll have done the main characters. And then I want to make some more Your Turn to Die songs after the full game comes out.
Yeah, and that'll be exciting.
Yeah. And also maybe a Raincoat song. Like, I don't have any specific ideas yet, but since it's like a new game and I really enjoyed it, it'd be cool to make a song about some of the characters.
Oh, I'm seeing someone, Clem, in the chat right now saying, if you make a Ibuki song, I would die. Okay, that is an interesting point because, you know, Ibuki has a certain musical style. If you were to make an Ibuki fan song, do you think you would try to also create a song in her, like, canon song style? Or would it be your own thing?
I think I would try to do it in her style to represent her. But I think there already is an Ibuki fan song.
Yeah, I think someone has created like a fan song based on the song title that she brought up but didn't actually sing. The like, I popped out the baby, don't know who the father is, that one.
Yeah.
I think I've listened to it one time and I was like, that's pretty cool. So obviously you would not make a song about popping out a baby and not knowing who the father is. But yeah, I was wondering, like, cause like, for example, like in the similar vein, the Kaede song that you created, so Killing Harmony, right? I can't remember particularly, but were there more piano, like, instrumentation or whatever in that song, or it was just like, nah?
I think,
because I can't remember.
If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I think there's some piano in it. It probably could have been more piano. Now that I think back at it, but yeah, there was some. Because I like to have the music sort of reflect the character as well as the lyrics. Generally, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to ask. So, oh, I forgot to put this in. Oh, damn. But like, back to because I'm a liar. So you also did a video where you were dressed in Kokichi cosplay and did a little dance, a little choreographed dance to it. I was wondering how that was like planned or decided to be, you know, done in the first place. Were you like, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah, pretty much actually. Yeah, I hadn't danced for a long time. But I guess I just sort of wanted to have fun with it. So I did it.
Cause like I wonder, you said you hadn't danced for a while, but like I assume you did the choreography for it yourself. So is that something you practice, or it's just like it was a one-time thing because you were like, I kind of want to do this, and then you were like, okay, let's practice.
Yeah, it was a sort of a one-time thing at the time. But I do want to get more into dancing. I did try learning some other choreography, but then like I didn't realize how hard it was until I was actually doing it. So yeah, I think I'll have to find some easier choreography.
Okay, so I mean, is Kokichi the only Danganronpa cosplay that you have? Because I don't know if you know, I have like 20 Danganronpa costumes. So I really enjoy cosplaying Danganronpa characters. So I don't know, it's fun to talk about cosplay with people. So I was wondering if you have any other Danganronpa cosplays as well.
Not at the moment, unfortunately. I do want to like get more into it though.
Is Kokichi like maybe the only cosplay you have then?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
At the moment, yeah.
You really saw him and you were like, he's my brain worm.
Exactly.
Well, that's fun. I mean, when it comes to, I guess, like your music video style, because at least for the the character songs, I thought it was actually really smart that your presentation. I mean, we can go back to it. You can play this again. But like it's like the character sprites being used, and like I guess their sprites reflecting the feeling of the lyric at the time, and I was like, that's a really smart presentation, at least in my opinion. It is. I was wondering if that was something that was just born out of it being the simplest thing to do, or I don't know, how did you plan to make the videos that way?
I guess it was mostly just the simplest thing to do, because like I couldn't draw. Well, I still can't really draw. So yeah, but you can download all the sprites off the internet, and I was like, I can represent what the characters are feeling with each lyric with this. So yeah,
because I don't know, like I just think it's a fun way of presenting the song, and like because it is using the sprites, it somewhat feels official, you know what I mean? Like it feels like it's like, I don't know, I see them as like a love letter dedicated to the character solely, but I wonder if like for you, if it feels like you can't not associate the song with this character, because like for some of them they actually say their names and stuff like that, like Miu, like Miu and stuff. She literally is saying her name, but like some other songs might not necessarily like say the character's name specifically or refer to a specific event, like to like one-on-one matching. So I was wondering, like, is there any songs where you listen to it and you'll think like, oh, that was a pretty good song, but like in a way where you don't also think of the character itself?
Honestly, I do normally just think of the character when I hear it. Maybe because I'm a liar, could be bit vaguer and bit like about someone else.
Mm-mm-mm.
But the others, yeah, I guess because I was focusing on that character while I was making it, now it's like all I can associate with the songs pretty much.
I mean, have you ever replayed V3 since making these songs? And you're just like, when the character comes on screen, you're like, my song.
I have like watched playthroughs. I don't know if I necessarily think about my songs while watching them. But they did like help me like remember character traits, so I could put them in songs.
Because I was wondering, like, I mean, you wrote this one almost soon after you finished V3. But I was wondering, because like some of the songs are later, like for example, like the Komaeda song, right? That's your most recent one. Did you actually have to like go back, maybe like read the wiki or something to be like, what were the important points of this character again? Or it's like it's all stored in your brain?
It's pretty much stored in my brain. Like I have had to look back for the Himiko song that I've started writing, because I sort of forgot what she actually did in some of the chapters. Because I wasn't super focused on her. But for Komaeda, I guess because I liked him the most, I was pretty focused on him if I watched, or if I played the game or watched the playthrough. So he was just in my head.
I mean, like, can I ask who your favorite characters are of each game?
Well, if it's not obvious already, Kokichi and Nagito, obviously. But I'm not sure about Danganronpa 1, because I don't. That's the one I know the least out of the 3 games.
Oh, is that the one like you revisited the least?
Yeah, because I just watched the anime, and then I think I watched like one playthrough of it ages ago.
I see.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right. I gotta ask, right? Oh wait. So, where if you had to compare Komaeda and Kokichi, who would you be your favorite out of the two?
You know, I've thought about this a lot, and like I would have said Kokichi, but that could just be because I like V3 more. But I don't know, it's hard to say. That they're sort of even in terms of how much I like them. I guess I do like that Kokichi is maybe a bit more mysterious. Like, Komaeda is very open and out there about his beliefs and everything, obviously. Whereas Kokichi, he's harder to read, and that can either be like something people dislike about him, but I think it makes me more intrigued almost.
I see. I don't think I've ever thought about it that way, because like my brain is so focused on Komaeda that I'm like, you know, when I first played V3, because V3 was the first Danganronpa game that I got to play for myself as the first experience. I just remember thinking like, I'm like, because like obviously you're gonna compare Komaeda and Kokichi, right? It's like the antagonist role and stuff like that. But I was like, I don't know if V3 had come out earlier. I think I would have enjoyed Kokichi way more. But maybe because my brain is so Komaeda damaged, I was like, I don't know. I don't think I can. I don't think Kokichi is even on the same level for me as Komaeda will ever be.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's a funny way of putting it. But yeah, like, that is a thing though, right? You make a good point, because I think like Komaeda, even though he's like a little crazy and stuff, he does make it like super clear what his motivations are, like how his logic kind of works, but with Kokichi, it's like it's a little bit more vague because like what are his intentions, and like even to the end, I was kind of like, that's crazy, dude. What his plan was, I was like, that's insane. And then it's like, was he a good guy or a bad guy? Who knows?
Well, yeah, I do like how it's more vague and how it's like up to the person to decide. But I could also definitely see why people would like how Nagito is, I don't know, more clear about everything. Because he's easier to understand, I think. If you like try to understand him, obviously. Whereas even if you do understand Kokichi, sometimes you can't tell whether he's lying or not.
I guess he keeps you guessing. Wait, did you think that was like maybe difficult to convey in the lyrics for his song then? Were you like, how do I... Because like, I don't know, when you think about the characters very deeply, how many times do you rewrite the lyrics to your songs so that like, do you think like, oh, I can improve this, I can make this more them feeling, or like, I wonder, because I've never written lyrics in my life.
Well, I feel like the more recent ones, now I've been more focused on like trying to make all the lyrics good and like have a underlying meaning to them and everything. Whereas earlier ones, like 'Cause I'm a Liar, I think I just sort of wrote something that, like, obviously some lines do clearly convey something, but other ones were like, well, that vaguely sort of seems to, like, talk about him somewhat. So,
be their vibe.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I didn't used to think about them as much, but now I think about them way more.
I mean, I brought this up earlier, but we go back to it. So these are some of the, I guess, song covers that you've done. Not necessarily that had lyrics before. Like, you said the two Undertale ones were lyrics written by someone else. But I was wondering about the other three, because I also remember listening to the Danganronpa theme that you made like a ton, and I didn't realize that was also like done by you at the time. Because like I think you released this right after 'Cause I'm a Liar, I think, and I think I heard this one before I heard 'Cause I'm a Liar. So like that was probably my first exposure to your channel.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but like which one of these were lyrics that you wrote?
Yeah, the other three that aren't Undertale ones are ones I wrote.
Yeah. So like do you mind explaining how that kind of came along? Because the Danganronpa one, I remember like there's a bit of like Junko's like voice lines in there as well, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah,
that was part of the
the remix.
Basically, yeah, it was part of the remix, so I liked it.
But yeah, like how do you go about writing lyrics for well, I assume the Danganronpa one's like just covering the entire kind of series a bit, or the first game, and then I actually have not listened to the other two, so I'm not really sure how they went, but were they more just based on, again, the character or the whole vibe of the game itself?
The Scaramouche one was like based on the character Scaramouche mostly, not really about the whole game. The Miku and the Song Machine one was like a really silly one. It was basically like a parody of like a different song that had that same like melody and everything. So it wasn't really about a specific character. Yeah.
I mean,
I go back and cringe at that one a little.
Are you really into Genshin Impact?
I haven't actually played it. I just watch like playthroughs of it. Mostly because I like Scaramouche quite a bit. So
you know, like just because I also have not really played Genshin Impact at all. So when I look at that thumbnail, I'm just like, oh yeah, he gives me the Kukichi vibe.
Yeah, he plays like a similar sort of role, I guess. It's a completely different story, obviously, though. And he's definitely a very different character. But yeah, he's another antagonist boy. So
I am sensing a theme here. I'm sensing a taste. Purple. But yeah. So wait, I've got to ask you: have you ever played or watched Ultra Despair Girls? Then?
Yeah, I have watched a playthrough of it.
Did you enjoy that game?
There are some interesting bits, I guess you could say, but overall, I like the story.
I just
and I like the writers.
You know, I feel like when it comes to Ultra Despair Girls, I'm like, there are good moments, but then I'm like, oh, they are so insensitive to like some topics of law. I'm like, this was not handled very well.
Yeah, it could have been done better.
I mean, so did you play V3 or was it also like a let's play watching kind of thing?
No, I played V3 like as soon as it came out. So, I was so eager.
I mean, clearly you've made how many songs now for V3? So there's Kokichi, Kaede, Kibo, Maki, Kaito, Mugi, Miyu. I think that's it so far. Oh wait, Shuichi! That's 8 songs. That's 8 songs. Oh my god. Do you ever look back and think like, whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot of my life.
Yeah, a bit. But I'm also really like happy I made those songs because I wouldn't have come up with some of those ideas if I hadn't. So it's definitely worth it.
I mean, because I don't really know how it goes for like fan songs, but like, do you have ways of monetizing that at all?
Yeah. I mean, people monetize like playthroughs of the game.
Oh, that's true.
So I haven't had any issues. Yeah.
Okay, where should people go to support your songs? I'm wondering. Is it mainly YouTube, or is there, or like, can people actually buy the songs?
I mean, I have a Bandcamp. Where you can like choose your price for the song. But just like YouTube or whatever streaming service is, it's appreciated.
Alright, you heard that, guys. we'll mention it later at the end, but like where to support your stuff, like with money. But I think it's fun. Like you're totally right though. People can monetize their playthroughs. I didn't think about it that way because like I feel like when it comes to like a product, like a song, right? Like I was wondering if there's more like hoops you gotta go through to like be able to make money off that. That was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if I've seen any for others, but Cause I'm a Liar has definitely gotten some like fan animatics, I believe. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, it's like there's a bit of, I guess, disbelief still, but also like really happy, and like it's really cool to see what people can make out of the song. Yeah.
I just think like, cause I feel like for anyone who makes like Danganronpa animatics, like your songs are probably like a dream because it's literally about the character, so it probably makes it like way easier to interpret like the music and then the lyrics into visuals because it's like it's all focused about them. Because how I've done it is like I'll find a song and I'll be like, this feels like this character's song, and then you have to like rework the lyrics in a way that matches, and it might not be a perfect fit all the time. But when it comes to like your character focused songs, it's probably like, oh yeah, I could definitely see Kokichi in this Kokichi song. I mean, how do I say, like, do you kind of like, because obviously the first time it happened and you weren't expecting the Kokichi song to blow up at all, how does it feel like? Because have people like approached you to ask for permission to do animatics and stuff like that? I wonder how that goes.
Some people did, but I think most people just post the animatic, and I'm fine with that. Like, as long as there's credit. Actually, I mean, even if there's no credit, I think at this point it's like an older song that's like decently known. So
no, take that back. Always credit your creative people. Alright, guys, do not just be like, oh well, Mcki said I don't have to credit Mcki. He was like, no, you gotta credit everybody. Okay, understandable. Don't be like, oh, actually, it's okay. You gotta be like, no, you have to credit me. You gotta credit me and also Mr. Kodaka and Spike Chunsoft. Actually,
everyone.
have you ever sent your music to Spike Chunsoft or Kodaka, like on Twitter and stuff like that?
No, I haven't. I'm not sure if he speaks English or understands English.
It was like, oh yeah, song. Yeah, I'm guessing this is vaguely about the characters. So, yeah. Because I remember like the first time I ever tweeted at Kodaka was with my villain animatic. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Really cool. Oh, thank you very much. I remember because like it hit like 1 million views, and I'm like, oh my god, 1 million views! I'm gonna show Kodaka. So I remember I tweeted it at him, and I was like, hello, I made this. And then he responded, and I was like, sweet, that's so cool! Really? Yeah, he said something, he was like, it's got spoilers, but I can feel the love, or something like that. I was like, oh, that's so cool! Thanks, Mr. Kodaka. But I was wondering, like, if you haven't done that yet, I was thinking you probably should, you know, before Twitter dies and we can never contact Kodaka again. Maybe it would be a good idea to be like, hello, Kodaka sir, I've made some songs. And then he can put it on his playlist.
Just spam him with the songs.
It's like, Kodaka, have you heard my song?
Yeah. Yeah, I might give that a try sometime.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, you were talking about, like, Your Turn to Die, and clearly, I'm going to play the video here, for people who have not played Your Turn to Die, because I know this song is a little bit more spoilery. Look away from the screen, turn this into a podcast, an audio podcast for yourselves, and, like, stop looking at the screen for a bit.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, so, like, Are murder mystery games like a favorite genre for you, or is it just like that these characters just happen to be like the personality traits that you enjoy, so you just ended up making songs for them?
A bit of both. I do really like games that have like a story. And like the type of character I like as well. So yeah, I really like visual novels. I still have to play more. It's just that like if I start playing one, then I get obsessed, and then I'll like only do that until I finish the game. And yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, maybe I should do uni work or make music instead before I get obsessed. Yeah.
I mean, you just mentioned you're in uni, but like, have you told anyone that you make music?
Well, I do online uni. So
oh, okay.
yeah, I don't really meet people in person that often. For uni, yeah.
Because I remember, like, I'm like, unless we're, like, friends, I will not tell you my social media. You do not need to know what's going on in my life. You do not need to see how obsessed I am with everything.
Yeah, I don't think I would, like, share it unless I knew someone well. So,
I mean, like, I assume, like, your family knows what you do. And, like, do they also, like, because, like, I remember the first time, like, for example, like, I worked for Circus on a music video. I put it on the TV, and we all watched it together, and I was like, hee, this is so cool. But I was wondering, like, if your like parents or whatever, like, support your songs, and they're like, oh, I put it on my car playlist or whatever, or are they just like, okay, I don't really understand.
Well, I generally get, like, my mom to listen to it. I like go, okay, you're gonna listen to it whether you like it or not. God damn it. It's not really, like, the type of music that she likes. So I don't really expect her to, like, replay it or anything. But yeah, generally pretty supportive. I mean, yeah, my dad also isn't into that sort of music, but
he's like,
that's understandable.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, so I was wondering, because you also mentioned that you have some thoughts about making more songs for Your Turn to Die. I was wondering, which characters potentially were you thinking about?
I sort of started writing some lyrics for khee, but I really want to finish Your Turn to Die first, because I feel like it'll give me more information that, like, I can use to put in the song.
Because, like, for me, with Your Turn to Die, I think about it and I'm like, I remember playing up to the end of chapter 2, but I have not touched anything in chapter 3 yet. So I'm like, it's also been a couple years since I did that, so I'm like, I feel like I have to go from the beginning again. I don't remember things.
I really like chapter 3.
Yeah.
But
so far.
yeah, still waiting on the last bit.
So, I mean, you've also mentioned Raincoat, and I'm still in the middle of playing it right now, but I was wondering what your expectations for it were, because, like, have you checked out any of, like, Kodaka's work since V3? Because he's done, like, a couple of things. The only thing that I've checked out is, Akudama Drive, which was the anime.
I haven't seen that yet. I did see, like, trailers for other stuff, but I think I like forgot about it generally. But then, Raincoat came along, and I guess I didn't really know what to expect. I was just hoping that there might be another Nagito or Kikichi sort of character.
Well, don't tell me if there is, but that's pretty funny. I feel like I didn't go into the game thinking that at all, but that's pretty. Now that you say that, maybe I should look forward to a potential Nagito character as well, if there are any. I'm like, who's it gonna be, huh? Is it gonna be you?
I've got my priorities straight.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, that's like such a funny thing to go into expecting. Well, I mean, so spoiler free, of course. Did you enjoy Raincoat?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, that's all. That's all the Raincoat discussion that we're gonna do. But yeah. So, I was wondering, what songs are you currently, like, most proud of, and maybe why? Because, like, maybe, like, if it was maybe the most challenging song that you've created so far, or maybe because it had so much, like, success or, like, positive reactions online. I was wondering, what's the songs that you were most proud of?
I mean, I am quite proud of Cause I'm a Liar, because, like, I'm happy. I think it just came together really well, and I'm happy with how catchy it is. I do sort of feel like it was, like, luck. Like, I sort of just happened to come up with it, and it all worked. But in terms of, like, the overall song, I'm, like, the most happy with, like, Lucky Me. Just because, like, I'm, like, fully happy with, like, the music and the lyrics and the tuning and everything. Whereas in past ones, there'd generally be something about it where I'd go back and go, maybe I could have done it better. You know?
Because...
I mean, I'll probably do that for Lucky Me at some point as well, but...
Well, yeah. I remember, like, when you finished the song and, like, it got posted and stuff, you were like, sorry, I didn't add any, like, lyrics about him being in love. You know? I was like, no! What do you mean you didn't add the, like, I was like, I'm in love with the hope inside of you.
Yeah, I had written a lot of the lyrics, and then there were, like, some chunks I hadn't written yet, but then I was like, I don't know if I could really fit it into that part. Like, it would be really sudden. It would...
It's like, oh, by the way, a gay lyric.
Yeah.
It's okay. Kawaii Song Part 2, where he's only talking about... where he's only talking about being gay. Anyway. That's what the people want.
Yeah, exactly. Just make a parody of Lucky Me.
Yeah, just change all the lyrics. Somebody do it. It's the same song. I mean, you posted all the instrumentals of the songs. Was that something like people requested because they wanted to make covers, or was that just something you wanted to have on your channel for the fun of it?
It was requested quite a bit. But yeah, it's also just nice to have them up so people can find them easily if they want. I mean, in thinking about, like, Cause I'm a Liar, right? We're back to him. Everything goes back to him. But it was so again, bringing up Circus. So Circus remixed it a little bit and used Kevin for vocals. I always forget which event it was. Was it like Digital Stars, like the DJ event or something? Because I asked him about it, right? And he was like, "Oh yeah, I DM'd Mcki to ask if I could have permission to use it," and then you didn't reply. Yeah. So I think I was off Discord for a while. I can't remember why, but. Yeah, like ages later I saw that message and I was like, oh no, I should have replied because like I really wanted him to make a remix. That'd be so cool. And then I found out, I saw like on Twitter people going, Cause I'm a Liar was at like this expo. And I was like, what? How is that? What? And then someone explained it to me and I was like, oh my god, yeah, he did send me a message about it. So yeah.
Yeah, because I think like he's not allowed to like just post it publicly because it was for that event, and I'm just like, release it now. Because I remember Rice also did like so much work for the visual presentation of that. I was like, please, that cannot just be a one-time thing.
I want to see it too, actually.
Yeah, you want to see it too. You haven't heard it. You haven't heard the cover with Kevin, Mr. Kevin. I remember like that just like showing up and me being like, Kokichi at the Miku concert? Well, I hope Circus like sends it to you privately so you can listen to it.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him.
I was wondering, so apart from original music that you've also made like other covers and stuff like that. I think you were taking commissions for covers at some point. But I'm wondering, what are like some of your favorite covers that you've made?
I really like Heat Haze Days. And Weekly Shonen Bye Bye. It's not a super popular one, but I just like how it turned out. And the Milligram one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, Milligram, I've only listened to a couple of songs from that series. Are you, like, heavily into the whole thing? Because, like, I know it's very, like, interactive in a way with the audience, right? I'm like, that's pretty cool. But I have not really delved into it at all to check it out.
I haven't delved that, like, deeply into it either. I mostly just listen to the songs. And like read some of the theories as well, but I don't really like vote or anything.
Are there any kokichis in that?
Yeah, sort of actually.
Everyone's kokichi.
Everyone's kokichi on the inside. I mean, he's not really kokichi, but like he is sort of like an antagonist guy who is sort of attractive, so yeah. I think it's one of the most popular Milligram songs. I can't remember what it's called. Like me or something? I think that's what it is.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm sure the people who are into Milligram will know which one it is that you're referring to. Why does the kokichi? Why does the conversation keep going back to kokichi? Why not? This is a very kokichi-filled episode. Clearly, you don't disrespect our guest.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I was wondering. So, like, with the whole music thing, I was wondering if that's something that you want to pursue as like a full-time career, or if it's mainly just going to be like a hobby for you going into the future.
Yeah. So I have been thinking about this because I am doing like a degree and it's going to take another 2 years and it's going to be like pretty intensive in those 2 years. And I'll definitely like have a job lined up after that I really want to do. But I also really enjoy making music. So I'd like to find like a balance between doing both of them. I doubt I'll like only focus on music. But maybe I'll do that job like part-time and like do music the rest of the time. I mean, if the like channel like blows up and gets like tons of views or something like that, then maybe I'll go, maybe this could be like a stable source of income. But for now it's like, it's probably better to get a real job.
Yeah. I can also
well.
like just the idea of like relying on a channel for a full-time income, like cause I mainly do it as a hobby, right? Because I also have another job, like a real job, even though I'm currently unemployed. But you know, like like I have another job, and I just do like streaming and stuff as more of a hobby. I don't really think about the monetary aspect of it, because it's hard. It's not an easy career path to go down, I feel like, and it's like you also don't want to be burnt out creatively. Like if it is your full-time thing, it becomes less of something that you do because you enjoy it, but more you have to think about like, okay, I need to like meet my deadlines for releases, and it's like, what if a song doesn't do or perform that well? It's like, it's not something that you can control because like the algorithm changes all the time, and it's like, oh. So I don't know, I have a lot of respect for people who do make their creative like hobby, or like I guess their creative work their source of income. Like I just gotta think like it's gotta be tough during the times where you're not feeling creatively like motivated and stuff like that, or like you're thinking about about finances and things. Like, oh my god. So yeah, I really hope that you also do find a balance between like normal work and then also making music, because you know you make good music.
Oh, thank you.
And I feel like even if people aren't Danganronpa fans and stuff like that, I feel like they should check out your work anyway. Maybe they'll get into Danganronpa.
Yeah, maybe. I think I have gotten a few people into Danganronpa. And maybe spoiled some of them, but
oops. It's alright. You know, like some people watched my villain animatic and they were like, I don't know what Danganronpa is, but this was cool. And I'm like, why did you watch it? Literally spoil the whole game. Okay, fine. That like, I'm like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah. I've heard that some people don't mind spoilers, but yeah, I definitely don't want spoilers.
Me neither. I mean, okay, apart from like making music and stuff, do you have any other hobbies, maybe, or forms of art that you like to take part in or trying in the future?
Well, I think, as I said before, I sort of want to get into dancing more. Just for fun, mostly, and for fitness. I do also have, like, an idea for, like, a visual novel that I really want to make one day.
Ooh.
But it's, like, it would be a big project. So, yeah.
That sounds... Well, I mean, that sounds really fun. But, like, I can only imagine how many, like, days, months, like, years maybe that project would even have to take, depending on, like, the scale of it. A game does sound fun.
It would have... Yeah. They would have, like, 16 different characters, and, like, you'd be able to play as each of them and see their point of view in the story, which would take so long to write. So yeah, it would definitely be like a really big project.
I'm listening to this idea and I'm like, are you sure you don't want to like reduce the amount of characters? You maybe like scale down the vision of every character POV? That sounds insane.
Yeah, it would be. But like for the structure of the story and everything, it sort of has to be that way. So
I see.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, good luck to you.
It'll probably take. Yeah.
Because I listened to that and I'm like, that sounds intense for a one person kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how it would go about it.
It's okay. I'll look forward to your Kokichi OC. I'll look forward to your Kokichi OC. Because clearly you're gonna have an antagonist boy.
Oh yeah, maybe a few antagonist boys actually.
Oh my god, everyone's just an antagonist boy.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun. Alright, well, I think we're making great time right now because, like, that kind of covers all the questions that I had. So we're actually going to move on to all of the audience questions that you received. We got, like, 70 to get through. So, firstly, again, thank you to everyone who did send in a question for Mcki, not only on my community post, but also on Mcki's community post. We were not expecting, like, 70 comments. So we're like, oh, God. So let's just get right into it, I think. We got a lot to get through. Alright, so we can start from your community post and like just go from there. So let's do this. From Candy Food, thank you for your question. Let's see. How do you make music? Like, really basic instructions since I'm done. Like, what are the programs you use now? Or how do you come up with music and lyrics? And yeah. Thank you for your question. So you kind of covered that you...
Yeah, thank you.
You, like, I mean, yeah, do you write lyrics first still? Or do you come up with the melodies? Or is it just kind of like a mix mash of, like, processes at the same time?
Generally I come up with like the chorus first, and then I'll either like write a bit more of the song, or I'll just like start making the melody for the chorus. I generally don't finish the lyrics completely and then start making the melody, because I get impatient. But also having the melody helps writing the rest of the lyrics.
I'm wondering, like, is there a particular reason you start with the chorus?
It's like the most important part of the song, I guess, and it's like a summary of the entire song in a way.
I see.
And that's definitely the bit you want to be like catchy and capturing the overall picture of the character generally. So if you have a good chorus, that's a really good start.
And are you making your instrumentals in FL Studio now, or?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you for your question, Candy. I hope that like kind of explains it, because when I think about it, I guess choruses are very important. It's like the part people recognize the most, I feel like, in a song.
Yeah.
It's also probably got the title of the song in it.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you. Next is by Soft Bagels 9508. What got you into Vocaloid? Well, we've covered that. What's your favorite Vocaloid song? Do you have one?
It's really hard to choose one because there's so many different songs I like. But the one that comes to mind is one called like Failure Girl by Kairiki Bear. I really like that
right.
But there are other songs I like just as much as that. So yeah.
Like you know how you made a cover for, is it Machine Gun Poem Girl or something?
Yeah.
Poem Doll, I think. I can't remember the title, but I remember like after I heard your cover of it, I was like, what is this song? Why is it so insane? And then I listened to the original as well. I was like, oh my god, of course. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Because I think that song is also on Project Sekai. Oh, which reminds me, are you playing Project Sekai?
No, I haven't, but I do want to. It's another case of if I get obsessed, then I'll like neglect everything else. So.
I see. Yeah, I'm not really that great at the rhythm game, so I would probably only be able to play like the easier difficulties as well. But I'm also the kind of person who like tends not to read the stories, even though I feel like, you know, if you're gonna get invested in the game, you should probably read the stories to get to know the characters. But I'm just like, I just wanted to play the Vocaloid song games, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. I have played a bit of Project Diva.
Oh, Project Diva is fun. So. I'm also not very good at it though. As well from Soft. Oh wait, yes.
Oh, I was just gonna say I could only get up to songs that are like 8.5 stars, and then it's just like completely impossible. So.
We're not true gamers. We're not true rhythm gamers. Yeah. It's too difficult.
Fake gamers. Yeah.
Also from Soft Bagels, what would you say is your favorite weird or dumb thing about the Danganronpa fandom? About the fandom?
Someone did point this out to me in like the comments of Lucky Me, that like if people make fan art about like Kamaido or other characters, they're generally like shipping them and stuff. I guess that like instead of focusing on their character, like and like I still appreciate that because like, you know, I like seeing Kamaido shipped and everything like that. But it is a bit weird, I guess. Just like
I think it just like depends on the artist, right? Like it's not like character only, like they're themed art doesn't exist. It's just people like to ship their scrimblos, okay?
Yeah.
And I enjoy shipping scrimblos too.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, thank you so much for your question, Soft Bagels. Next is Nefarious Eternity? What characters do people keep requesting that you secretly hate? Okay, let's go. You're gonna be like, I never want to make a song for this character.
Okay, like, I don't hate Gonta, but he's not my favorite character, and like, I don't know what I would write exactly for the lyrics. Like, I just feel like he isn't quite deep enough. So yeah, I do see people requesting Gonta, and it's like I don't really want to. Like, I don't think I can think of anything good for him. It would just be like, I love bugs. Bugs are cool. I want to save everyone, but I can't. Like, I don't know.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly.
I see. That's so funny because I think one of the questions that we got later was, are you gonna make a Gonta song?
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, oh.
Like, ooh, yes. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for the question. But I can see what you mean. It's like, yes, like, not necessarily that you don't like Gonta as a character, it's just like, it might be hard to make a song interesting. Like, I could see, like, if people wanted, like, Korikyo, like, there's definitely more you could say, or, like, come up with, like, the theming and stuff like that. Gonta's like, I like ants. Like, do you like ants too? If it comes like, you know what style it should be? It should be like one of those educational songs. It's like, this is an ant. It is spelled A-N-T. That's how I imagine. Like, you make a little nursery rhyme for Gonta, and then like at the very end is like, oopsie, Gonta killed someone. Listen, for the Gonta fans who wanted a song, we're just making it right now. This is what you could expect if it were to be real. Alright, from Maroon YYY, what's your favorite Danganronpa execution? I'm curious too.
I don't have like one that's my absolute favorite, but I do like the first one in V3, and the second one in V3 is also pretty cool, I guess. I like the fourth one in Danganronpa 2 is very sad, I guess. So I like that one, and the fifth one is cool as well. So there's like different reasons I like each of them.
Yeah, they're also like the ones that maybe have a lot more. They have some thought to them and like nice visual presentation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your question, Maroon. Next is from Joanne is Poliu 285. If Danganronpa were to continue, should it pick up from Danganronpa 3, the anime, or Danganronpa V3? What are these replies? Okay, never mind. What do you think?
See, like, if it continued from V3, then, like, surely it wouldn't be another killing game, right? It would just be, like, it might be about, like, Shuichi and the others trying to stop another killing game, maybe? Or maybe there is another killing game and they, like, break in and try to stop it. Go, stop killing each other. But if it continued from Danganronpa 3, I guess they could show like how. I was gonna say they could show how, like, starts becoming like a series in that world, but then they already showed in V3 that like 1 and 2 were fictional anyway. So yeah, I don't know.
Honestly,
but yeah,
I don't want Danganronpa to continue. I feel like it's like, you know, like I really enjoy Danganronpa, and of course, like I feel kind of weird about it because like okay, did you enjoy the ending of V3? I guess
I did feel like legitimate despair while playing it, but then afterwards I was like, you know, I think this really like completes the series completely, and I also like how it sort of flips everything upside down, sort of. Like, I don't super like that 1 and 2 are fictional. Like, I feel like they could have still been real in that world, and the like population was still like obsessed with having death games after like Hope came again during the like Danganronpa 3 anime, but overall I liked it. Yeah.
For me, like how I view V3's ending, I'm like, this is an alternate reality. Like, I don't necessarily see, like, I think yes, in V3 it's fictional, but I also like I don't think that makes the first or the earlier entries any less like real. Like, they're also Danganronpa. Yeah. It's all Danganronpa, you know? Like, for me, when I got to the ending, I was just kind of like, this is really ballsy. This is super ballsy on Kodaka's part, because I'm like, you know, I feel like if you knew like Kodaka, like this is like his last Danganronpa game, right? Like, this is how he wanted to end the series and maybe like move on from Danganronpa. And I do kind of want to see Kodaka, like, because I feel like you're never gonna be able to not see Kodaka with Danganronpa in mind. I feel like, you know, it's just not possible at this point. But I do think creatively for him, he's been with Danganronpa for like over a decade, you know. I think like it's okay for him to like move on and try new projects like Raincode and stuff like that. But like, it's a little bit weird because, like, you know, with like V3, it's like the fan base, right, of V3. They're like, more killing games, more Danganronpa, and like I think it's somewhat like funny that the real world fandom, like a lot of people are still asking like, when's the next Danganronpa game, like to like Spike Chunsoft and Kodaka all the time. And I'm like, I feel like the messaging of V3's, like, you know, even if it's fictional, it's still powerful. Like, it can still like mean something to you. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Like, I think V3's ending was really cool, and I just thought it was fun. I don't really care that they're like, Komaida's not real. I'm like, yeah, of course he's not real. Danganronpa isn't real. Like, how many times has Danganronpa like broken the fourth wall and just being like, haha, because it's a game and stuff like that? And I'm like, dude, like, you go through Danganronpa knowing that it like makes fun of like the concepts and stuff like that. It's like V3's ending just felt like like a fun natural progression of like getting more wild. The only thing I don't like about the V3 ending is the epilogue. I'm like, they should have just died. That's my opinion. I feel like they shouldn't have been like, oh, was Tsumuki lying? Like, maybe Danganronpa was real, like, you know? I'm like, what are you talking about? Let me just accept that in this game, it's supposed to be fictional. I don't know. I like the theming of it. V3's fun. But I also think Danganronpa fans should, like, you know, let Kodaka do other stuff. We don't need more Danganronpa. I think the ending of V3 was a great way to, like, send it off.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's like fully complete now. And if people want to make like fan games, that's cool. Yeah. But yeah, I totally understand him wanting to move on.
You know, like
really
there can only be
was really good.
Yeah, there can only be that many Komaidas in this world, okay, guys?
Yeah, I know.
Alright, well, thank you to Joannis, is Polluio. We kind of went on a little longer than that, but if it were me, I don't think it should continue. Anyway. So, from Korikyo Salt. What song was the most fun to work on?
I don't completely remember like how much fun I had on all the past songs. I think in recent memory, Lucky Me was the most fun, just because things were coming together pretty easily, whereas there were like bits in Perfect Fiction and Not My Turn to Die where I sort of had to force some of the things out. But there's always parts in all the songs where I'm like having fun with it. So,
because I imagine, like, you know,
otherwise
like,
I wouldn't make it.
Creating stuff, like, from my perspective, like art, right? Drawing, it's very like immediate reaction. Like you draw one line and you're like, I see it. But like with music, it's like there's so much more parts to it. It's like at the end, even when you finish a song, you listen to it and you may be like, still not done yet. Like, have you ever like had a song finished and then you're like, but it's still not there yet?
I guess, like, sorry, just trying to think.
It's thinking time.
Yeah. I mean, I think for Not My Turn to Die, I had like sort of finished it, but then I was like, but I really want to like try adding more into this and making this sound better. So like generally when I've like finished the instrumentals, I still feel like there's more I could have done, and I'm like, what? I don't know what exactly to do, but I feel like there should be more. Like I should be able to add more. And at some point, I just have to go, okay, you know what? I'm satisfied enough with this. Yeah.
I do feel that. Like, sometimes you just gotta know when to, like, step away and stop thinking about it. It's like, it's done, it's done. Otherwise, you're gonna, like, keep thinking about it. It's like, no, it's fine. I mean, did you ever have a song, this is another question, that had the hardest lyrics to come up with?
So, I do remember struggling with parts of Not My Turn to Die and Perfect Fiction, where I was just like racking my brain trying to think about what lyrics I should write. Like either because I'd written the first verse and then that like gave me a base for what the second verse should be, but then it also like restricted what I could write. Like, okay, it has to be this many syllables now. It has to fit in like this. And then I'd be sitting there going, oh no, like, what am I meant to put it here? And for Not My Turn to Die, there were some bits where I rewrote it so many times until I was happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely those two in recent memory, because yeah, that's what happens when like you try to like really get all the lyrics good. Like in the past, I would sort of be satisfied with it generally working, I guess. But more recently, it's like, no, I want all of it to be like almost perfect, which can lead to like some frustrating bits. But yeah, I had an easier time with Lucky Me, luckily. So
yes, lucky you. I mean, okay, another question is, what song do you feel should have the most views? I think rather than this question, I would probably switch it to like, what song do you want people to check out more? Like, what's one you're really proud of that you feel like maybe not as many people have seen? but you want to like just like go tell people like, you should check out this song?
I mean, there is one called like Ophelia's Garden that I'm like, it's not the best song I've ever produced, obviously, but I'm pretty happy with like the melody and the overall lyrics. But yeah, I guess I'm the most happy with like Lucky Me at the moment. So, and you can't really expect like characters, I mean songs that aren't about like characters people know to always like get really popular, even if you think the song is really good. So yeah, I guess I would like expect more like the Nagito song to do decently at some point, but yeah, I mean it already is doing decently, I mean, but like like really well, but yeah.
All right, everybody, go stream Lucky Me again and Ophelia's Garden. Okay, there's another question here, but we're just gonna skip it so we can keep going. Thank you to Koikyo Salt. Yep. Next is by Ham6317. Favorite friendship between old Danganronpa characters. After playing some summer camp, I really like Kazuichi and Kibo. Oh, do you have any characters that you like the friendships of?
I'm not sure if I would call it a friendship necessarily, but like Kokichi and Kibo, I like their antics.
Oh man, were you like? Because I remember like one of the first things Kokichi does is like you're like, oh, do robots have dicks?
Yeah.
Were you like, oh, that's my boy from the beginning?
I think I'd played the demo beforehand, so I was sort of spoiled for that line.
Because they reuse that bit.
Yeah. But yeah, that was probably one of the points where I was like, oh wow, yep, that's my boy right there.
Oh man, friendships. I really like the even though like it wasn't really in the game, the friendships that were like kind of present in the girls group of like Danganronpa 2 characters, like them wanting to go to the beach to have fun together. I'm like, oh, the girlies are just having fun. They all like each other. Maybe not Hiyoko and Tsubiki, but you know. Generally, I feel like the girls' friendship in the second game was really nice. They will try to do stuff as a group.
Yeah,
all right.
That was really sweet.
Next question is from FlowersFools6120. Out of all the stuff you make, what's your favorite and why? For example, English translations, adding lyrics to pre-existing music, character songs, or the entirely original songs. So yeah, what's your favorite part or favorite stuff to do?
I think the original songs, just because like there's no like restrictions on it or anything. Like I just make anything I want pretty much. Yeah, and there's no like expectations for it as well. So yeah, but I also really like the character songs, and adding lyrics to pre-existing music is really fun as well. Just because like you don't have to make the music yourself. You sort of already have a base to work on.
I like the second part. So additionally, how do you feel about your originals or covers getting less views than your character songs?
Yeah. I mean, as I sort of said, it's sort of expected that they would get less views. Like, it's very understandable. And I think in the end, what's important to me for original songs is that I enjoy making them. So like, I can look back at songs that were originals that didn't get many views, and I can still go, you know, I'm still happy I made that because I had fun making it. And yeah, so I don't mind too much.
That's nice, because like I know like for the sense of like comparing it to art, like fan art versus original character artwork, like of course fan art is gonna get a bigger response because it's fan art. People have a more established like interest in something. It's harder for something completely original to kind of take off because nobody else knows about it or cares about it as much as you do. But I think that that's a good way of like viewing it. It's like even if it doesn't reach as many people, it's still like meaningful to you as the creator of it.
Yeah.
I think that's nice.
Yeah.
So thank you for your question, Flowers Full. I thought that was a very nice one. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, so again, which song is your favorite? Have you said which one's your like best? Who's your bestie? Who's your song bestie?
I mean, yeah, currently I'm the most happy with Lucky Me. Also pretty happy with Not My Turn to Die. But most of the other ones have like parts where I'd go, I wish I could have done that better.
I see.
Yeah. Mostly in terms of like the music.
Like just like the skill aspect, or
yeah, pretty much like pretty much the skill thing. Yeah.
Oh well, it's fine. Like it's good to know that like you're most proud of like your recent stuff because that just means you're improving all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question, to Casa Tenma. Next we got Kuja Tribal 385. Which Vocaloids and synth Vs are basically which voices do you have available for your songs? So we've already seen what you own. Don't have Big Al. Are you ever interested in getting Big Al?
I'm not sure how easy he is to use. So yeah, I'm not sure. He's an older one as well.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah, I have like synth Vs and Vocaloids that sort of fit that tone of voice anyway. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because they mentioned he has a deep voice, so it'd be a fitting for Ryoma. Is Ryoma also a character you get requests to make songs for? I'm gonna assume like every V3 character has been requested at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they all have. Yeah, I think Ryoma would be easier than Gonta, but he's still not one of my favorite characters. And it would still be sort of hard. And I do want to sort of move on from V3 a bit.
Yeah.
And do some other series.
I mean, having 8 songs already, that's like half the cost. And you're gonna make a 9th one.
Yeah.
It's like I think people should just appreciate that you even got this far.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kuja Tribal. Next, we got a question from Ending Dreams. Who's your favorite character in each of the 3 main killing games? I mean, okay, so if you had to pick one from the first cast, who would be your favorite from the first cast?
I guess Byakuya, just off the top of my head. Or Kirigiri as well.
The trio of antagonistic boys.
Exactly.
But Byakuya is kind of fun. Like, I remember the first time, because I experienced Danganronpa with the Something Awful fan translations at that time. And I just remember thinking, like, Byakuya was an asshole. I was like, what the heck, this dude? But now that, like, I'm older and, like, I've revisited Danganronpa and stuff, I'm like, you know what, Byakuya is he's fine. Like, he's, like, a good character, I think. He's funny as well. So...
Yeah, sure. And he has a character arc.
Oh, okay. So what is your favorite Danganronpa game or anime out of the whole franchise? I guess it's mostly a comparison for V3 or Danganronpa 2 for you.
Yeah, I say overall V3. So, yeah.
Another question they say is, who's your favorite Your Try to Die character and why? Well, I think the answer's obvious, but...
Yes, believe it or not, I do really like So.
Wow! Can't believe it.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, he's just the type of character that I tend to like.
Clearly, I feel a trend here.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your question.
Sort of
yeah, thank you for your question, Ending Dreams. Next by Close Ninten. What's your favorite original song that you've made? Oh yeah. Let's say not a character fan song. So, what's your favorite original that you've made?
I think Submerged, but there's like tons more original songs I want to make. So, yeah, the answer will probably change once I've released some more.
Do you have a least favorite song?
I mean, there was a song I made ages ago called like Moonlit Hearts or something, and I privated it because I was like, wow, this is really bad actually. So
we'll never know.
Ripple. Yeah, it's not that great. So
you're just like, ooh, never mind. No one needs to see this.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Ephemeral. I wouldn't say that's my least favorite because I like some of the lyrics in there. But the music side of it is not great. So.
Well, if you ever like re-release the updated version, I think everyone will have a good time like comparing them and being like, wow, you've improved a ton.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on because we still have so many questions. But thank you for your question, Close Ninten. Next is from Lainey May. From the INMF cover, it seems you're into Milgram. What are your opinions on Kazui's new song Cat? Do you know the song?
I have listened to it. As I said before, I'm not super into Milgram, so I don't know his story super well, but I do like the song. It's really cool.
I also have no idea what song this is, so I'm like, I have no opinion on this. But they say it's probably gonna be one of the most confusing ones. Did it confuse you?
I don't think I've seen his like first song, so I think it's confusing. It must be confusing if you have watched the first one and you thought one way about him, and then this one sort of turns it upside down, I guess. That would be my guess. But
alright.
Just the song alone isn't too confusing, I think.
Okie dokie. Well, thank you, Lainey May, for your question. Next is by Eliza Z. But it was also like hardest to write lyrics for, and I guess you already answered that. So thank you for your question. I hope you like the answer. Short Kid 4363 asks, why do you continue to do a lot more Danganronpa based songs for your Vocaloid releases? I guess like what keeps you making Danganronpa focus songs?
Well, I guess since I've made Danganronpa songs before, I've attracted an audience that likes Danganronpa songs. And also, like, I like the game a lot, so that's pretty much why.
Because, like, I feel like if you, at some point, you got just sick of it, you're like, I hate, like, that's the thing, like, do you ever write lyrics about, like, hope and despair, and you're just like, I can't, not again? Or do you, like, actively avoid trying to write hope and despair in your lyrics?
I think I only, like, wrote that for like Nagito's and Tsubugi's.
Mm-mm-mm.
And then for the
Makes
others,
sense.
I didn't really focus on that. Yeah.
Because I can imagine, like, if you were to write a song about, like, Junko, you'd be like, how many times do I have to write to spare?
Yeah.
The most, like, obnoxious songs, like, despair, 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 despair. That's, like, the entire chorus. That might be funny, though. Anyway, thank you for your question, Short Kid. Next is from Zen1821. Will you ever... Here we go! Will you ever do a Gonta Kokuhara song? He's my favorite from B3. I hope you don't skip over him. Oops. Oopsie. Oopsie. Well, you know the answer to that now. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Inferno Drogba says, what is your favorite song you've made of the Danganronpa characters? I guess we've also kind of answered that. It's currently the Komaeda and Mcki song, I suppose.
Yeah, I like the lyrics overall for the Tsubugi song. Although, yeah, I wish I had done the music a bit better in some bits. But yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you for your question. Next is from Galaxy Brain 104. Who do you think is the best Danganronpa mastermind?
See, when I was playing V3, I really didn't like Tsumugi. But then, in the process of making a song for her, I did come to like her a bit more.
Yeah. I, like, for me, when it comes to Tsumugi, I liked her already at the start because I was like, oh, she cosplays. I love cosplaying Danganronpa too. And then, wow, she really loves cosplaying Danganronpa.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I just, like, because I had a positive reaction to her from the start, like, even though she really didn't do anything through the whole game, I was just kind of like, she cosplays, she's fine. Like, she just came up as, like, a normal character to me, and then the ending, I was like, whoa! And I was like, okay, I like her. But working on the animatic, for Villain, I was like, okay, I like her way more now.
Yeah, it wasn't until I worked onto the on the song until I was like, oh, okay, I could actually like appreciate her character more. Because I guess I was annoyed that she like did nothing in the story until that one point, and I was like, oh, okay.
You're like, why are you still alive?
Exactly. Yeah, at some point I was like, all the other characters seem to have some importance, and you're the only one left who doesn't. So are you the mastermind? Or Kibo.
Yeah. Well, Kibo, like, has some relevance, you know? You hang out with him a couple of times. Yeah. He's with Ryu and everything. But maybe, like, I know it was probably intentional for, like, you not to, like, pay too much attention to her, but I was, like, at the same time, like, would have been nicer if she had some kind of friendship established with the characters so that it would be a bit more like heartbreaking, but whatever. So if not Mugi, who else is there? I guess you would have to decide between Junko and I guess Izuru. I mean, does he really count?
Yeah, it's like semi-counts. I like Izuru. Not that you see him that much anyway, but
no.
I guess because I like Hajime as well.
The concept of Izuru.
Yeah.
Alright, well, would Junko have to default being the best mastermind then?
Maybe. I mean, she's like the real mastermind of all of them, but V3 pretty much. And even in V3, she's sort of... her legacy is the mastermind, I guess.
We loved her so much that we would die for her.
Exactly.
Alright, thank you for your question, Galaxy Brain. Next is from Butterfly TLQ, I know you're planning to work on a Himiko song, but what other Danganronpa character songs are you planning to make?
I don't have any specific plans right now. So I might do like a poll at some point to see if people really want another one. But
listen, if you make a poll, people are gonna be like, yes.
yeah, it's the issue. I have to like actually commit to it.
Yeah.
If that happens, yeah.
And like all the options, you gotta be prepared for if that wins. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
So don't put Gonta on the poll.
Yeah, I'd only put characters I would be willing to make a song for. Yeah.
Alright. Well, thank you, Butterfly TLQ. Given your interest in Danganronpa, would you consider making songs about other death games by tunes of visual novels? Example, Zero Escape and AI Somnium Files.
I haven't played those two. As I said, I want to get into more of them. But at the same time, I think I'd rather make songs about some newer games. I mean, if I played one of them and I loved one of the characters and I came up with an idea, then I would make the song still. But I think in general, a newer song is probably better to go with. Just because, you know, the fandom is more alive and yeah.
I mean, and also, like, at some point I feel like you will also move on from making character-focused songs and, like, probably go on to more just original things. And, like, I hope that, like, people don't just, I don't know, see your work for only the fan stuff and be like, I don't want to support your other things. I'm like, that's, I don't know, be kinder, and, like, actually, like, have interest in the people who create stuff that you enjoy. Because, like, if you enjoy their, like, your fan songs, chances are they're gonna enjoy your original work too, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand why people, as we said, you know, people recognize a character and they like them, so that's why they listen to the song. But I guess part of the reason I've been doing Danganronpa songs as well is so I can sort of attract an audience, and then at some point I can go, here's an original, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I think I will eventually convert to doing more just original songs at some point.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that too. Just keep doing it while you personally find it enjoyable, because, like, I don't know, you don't want yourself to, like, again, feel the pressure to do something just because other people want it or expect it from you.
Yeah.
As long as you find enjoyment from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright. Thank you so much for your question, Declan. Next we got Joe Tosna. What got you into Danganronpa and making Vocaloid songs about it? I guess, like, yeah, there is that aspect of, like, you could enjoy Danganronpa a lot, but, like, what made you go, like, actually, I'll make a fan song?
I guess because, you know, I'd already produced some songs before, and then I sort of got lucky with coming up with the idea for Cosmalaya. Yeah, and, you know, it's a recognizable character as well, so more people might listen to it, which I guess ended up being true. So, yeah. Pretty much the reasoning.
Alright, thank you for your question, Joe Telna. Next is by Ali Bolcad. Will you do okay, this I'm so sorry, Ali Bolcad. DRV1? Every time I see, like, a newer fan called Danganronpa 1, like the first one and the second one, V1, V2, I'm like, no! Like, did you play V3? Why are you calling it V1, V2? I just think, like, just call it Danganronpa, the first one, or Trigger Happy Havoc, or call it Danganronpa 2. It's not V1, V2. Ah! But anyway, are you gonna make a fan song for Junko?
As I sort of said, like, maybe if people really want it, and if I come up with an idea, but otherwise, I'm not completely sure if I would. Because as you said, it would just be, like, full of despair.
Hope, despair,
and it would just make you
despair.
feel despair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, again, like, the lyrics is like a whole verse is like
Exactly.
despair, 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 despair. It's just like we're trying to
Yeah.
hypnotize the audience into like, I was like, man, I really felt the despair in this song. It's like despair, 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 despair. It just gets louder and louder. It's like, oh god. Anyway, yeah. Thank you for your question. Call it. Stop calling it V1.
Yeah.
Alright, next is from Sakura Star Warrior. How do you come up with lyrics to your music? And do you have any favorite Danganronpa ships? Alright, so lyrics first.
Alright. It's sort of hard to explain because, like, sometimes it just sort of seems to happen. Like, my brain just goes, here's some lyrics. I'm like, wow, thanks. And then other times, it's like, I have no ideas. Like, do it myself. Yeah, I guess, like, it helps that I've written a lot of lyrics before. So that helps me, like, come up with more, I guess. So, yeah.
Sweet. And favorite ships.
So I do really like Komahina. Komahina.
Yeah.
I also like Kokichi and what is their like ship name? Kokichi and Shuichi.
I think it would be Sayoma.
Sayoma?
Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't feel like it's as canon as Komahina, just because Shuichi doesn't really show any interest in Kokichi. Whereas Kokichi is very interested in Shuichi. But still, I still like it, like in its own universe. So you can maybe see a theme, but yeah.
Wait, so like if you had to, were you like, oh, I guess it would be Byakuya and Makoto.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we need.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Thank you for your question, Sakura Star Warrior. Next is from Just Your Average Female. Who's your favorite Danganronpa villain? I guess this doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a mastermind.
Yeah. I mean, if they're talking about all the characters, like, does Dagijo Kokichi count as a villain?
I think so.
Because if so, it would be one or both of those two.
Alright.
I also like Monokuma.
Monokuma? Yeah. He's just a
Just
funky
as a
little
villain.
guy.
Yeah.
Iconic
cool.
design. Great design,
Yeah.
honestly. Alright, thank you. Next is from SGLT. Why do you make Vocaloid songs? That's a good question.
Yeah, I guess as I said, I was like writing a lot of lyrics. And I listened to a lot of Vocaloid songs as well. And at some point, I was like, I want to smash these two interests together and make like a full song. And also, I can't really sing that well, so yeah, it's helpful that I can just do it all on the computer.
Because I would also say I'm not that great of a singer, but like I enjoy singing. It's just like it's not good.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
The show sometimes.
Thank goodness for Vocaloid. I don't have to use my own voice. All right. Thank you for your question. Next is from username taken 4023. What are your future plans? And kind of related, do you ever get burned out making Vocaloid videos?
Future plans, I guess, keep studying my degree. And then I have, like, obviously I want to do the Himiko song. And then I think I'll try thinking of, like, a Raincoat song, probably. I also have other original songs that are, like, partially made that I want to do. So I guess the overall plan is keep making music and balancing it with uni and everything else.
Yeah.
And then getting burnt out. Yeah. Like, I think it's been better recently because I've been, like, focusing on my health a bit more. But definitely did get burnt out, like, a few times. Especially if I'd, like, try a certain thing in the song and it just wasn't working no matter how I went about it. And generally, if I did get burnt out, I'd just stop working on it and I'd procrastinate for a while. So, yeah. But, I didn't really get burnt out on the Nagito song.
Yeah.
Although, on the last few weeks, when I was, like, finishing it off, I was working on it, like, every day, and it was, like, the only thing I was doing. And I remember, like, tuning all day, and I was like, oh my god, no more tuning, please.
Well, you know, it's done now, so you're like, oh, finally. Get him out of here.
Yeah, that's
thank you for your question, username taken. Next is Maya's crusty toenails. What the heck kind of username is this? How do you see yourself in a decade? What kind of username is that?
I don't know if I want to know who Maya is. It's hard to say because a decade is such a long way away. But hopefully with, like, a good balance between making music and doing uni stuff. And who knows, like, where the music stuff will go. Like,
yeah,
if it'll stay like a little hobby or become a bigger thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Well, thank you for your question, Maya's crusty toenails. Next question is from Flesh Eater. Flesh Eater? Like Flesh Eater? I don't know. What are these usernames? If you could go back and tell yourself something to improve your music usage of Vocaloids, what would it be?
I'd probably say watch more tutorials on making music, because there's a lot of technical stuff that is really important to know that's really helpful when it comes to the music production bit. And I definitely have a lot of advice for, like, lyric writing, because I used to, like, write lyrics that like sounded deep but didn't actually have any meaning.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, and then I would go back and say, hey, how about you think about, like, what this actually means, what you're actually trying to convey, maybe.
Well, who knows? Maybe they meant something to someone else. Sometimes vague lyrics are very good because they can be interpreted in any kind of way for any kind of person.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you just have to find the balance between being vague and implying something or alluding to something, or as opposed to like being so vague that it's like, what does that even mean? Like,
yeah,
you just wrote that to see.
All right, thank you for your question, Flesh Eater. Next is from Shinami. What Vocaloids do you like tuning the most? And your least favorite and hottest and easy... What? Okay, just basically, what's your favorite Vocaloid to tune?
So, I mean, obviously, Fukuse is pretty good. But now that I've, like, tuned Yuma in Synth-V and found, like, it's way easier to tune than it is in Vocaloid, I think, like, I'm enjoying tuning in Synth-Vs more. Although I do find that some vocals don't really suit my tuning style. For whatever reason. So... yeah, I don't know. I've sort of been sticking to Fukuse and Synth-Vs, so I can't like completely remember how hard certain ones were in the past. Yeah, I do remember Gumi being hard to tune. But that
like in English or in Japanese?
Yeah, in English.
Hey, would you ever make like a Japanese lyric song at some point?
So I'm only intermediate at Japanese at the moment. So I do want to learn to speak it like fluently, and at that point, maybe I would be able to make a Japanese song. But at the moment, it's like I just, you know, I don't know all the words. I would write a sentence that I wouldn't know completely if it was grammatically correct, you know.
Though I feel like, you know, when it comes to like Japanese producers and they use English, it doesn't necessarily make sense either.
Yeah, I know. So,
it's alright. It's like whatever. Google translates the way to go.
Sounds good.
Terrible grammar. Anyway, thank you for your question, Shinami. Next is from Addie Suggs. Have you ever used Utao before? And if so, what are your experiences, thoughts with it? I guess the new Teto doesn't really count.
Yeah. The first program I used was actually Utao. So that's how I got introduced to vocal synths. Well, not how I got introduced, but like the first time I used them myself. And I even made my own Utao. It's not that great. I haven't used it in ages. Like, I think I lost the files for it. Yeah, I did make a few Utao covers. And I think it's a really good place to start if you want like a free program to make songs. Although it can be complicated in some ways, like there's different types of voice bank and everything like that. And it doesn't sound as good generally. Or as natural, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Alright, thank you very much for your question. Next is from Stefan. No, probably not Stefan. Stefan Gamer. Do you prefer Vocaloid or Synth-V?
So Synth-V is much easier to use, I've found. Like, it's so much easier to tune on the notes rather than like on a parameter thing below the notes. And there's also more options for like extending syllables and parts of like phonemes and everything. So in terms of how easy it is to use, I definitely like Synth-V more. But Vocaloid does have like vocals that I really like. The classic ones, obviously.
Yeah. Actually, I don't... You have Miku, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, I know, like, your channel banner and stuff has, like, a picture of Miku, but, like, I can't remember the last time you ever used Miku.
Yeah, her English voice bank isn't that understandable, so that's mostly why.
All right, thank you for your question.
I do like how she sounds.
She is also the most iconic.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. What got you into music, and did you learn to play an instrument before producing music?
I played like trumpet for 1 year in primary school.
Oh.
But other than that, not really. I wish I had learned like guitar or piano or something. And I am sort of trying to learn it now, although sometimes I forget for a while.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it really is. It always hurts my hands. And I guess what got me into music was like listening to music in general, and yeah, wanting to make something like that.
Yeah. I think it's really cool. It's like you don't necessarily need to know music to be able to make music.
Yeah, I mean, there's some basic things you need to know, but once you know that, you can pretty much figure out the rest.
Okay, and also from Pofficial, how do you feel about your Danganronpa fan songs that have made millions of views?
I don't know, it, like, since a long time ago, I've sort of, like, you know, not gotten over it, but, you know, sort of disconnected from, like, it's sort of normal now. But I think at the time it was like, what the hell? Really? Like, that was like, I was really
How many people?
And also really, like, confused as well. Yeah. It's like, really? That many people? Like, yeah. So, like, I guess I didn't think they were that good at the time. So, yeah.
It's like, hey, thanks for the support, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pofficial. We'll keep going now. Then Real Game Deity says, do you have any more plans for original songs? I know they don't do as well as the Danganronpa songs, sadly, but Submerged and Ophelia's Garden are so good that I would love to see more original stuff. Yay! If so, what ideas would you what ideas so you have that you would be willing to say?
I think there is an extra so in there.
Yeah, maybe.
So I have like so many lyrics that I have written that I want to produce. But there are the main ones that I have like partially done that I want to make soonish. There's one called Unnatural Selection. There's one called Dark Room, and then there's a really dark one called Into the Razor. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll make Unnatural Selection next, just because it's the most finished out of those three.
Just from the title alone, it has a interesting vibe. Yeah.
It's also a pretty dark one, so yeah.
Well, thank you very much, the Real Game Deity. It's nice to see people like are also like, I want to see more originals. They're out there. We out there. Thank you. Next is Tired Lesbian Ace NB. Are you working on any other Your Turn to Die songs? Well, you did say that you're working on a KG song, probably.
Yeah, I sort of started working on it. So yeah, we'll see when the game is finished what ideas I get.
Yeah. Alright, thank you so much. Next is from Rose Alina. Will you ever do Danganronpa 1 and 2 character songs, or are you primarily sticking to V3 for now? Well, yeah, I mean, like, the Komaeda one is kind of an outlier, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Kinda
I'm not
answered
sure. The answer is maybe. We'll see. But I think I might move on from Danganronpa. Or do a poll to see, which ones people want a song for. Yeah.
Again, you could just make a song with the only lyric being despair. I feel like people would be into it, but like, oh yeah, despair.
That could be another April Fool's one. Actually.
Oh hell yeah! I'll be excited for that one. Will you make songs relating to other media besides Danganronpa? I'd like to see another song like Revolution again.
Yeah, like maybe Raincoat and Will Your Turn to Die, and more original stuff.
Hey. Alright, thank you very much, Rosalina. Next is from Vocaloid. Do you have any tips for music production? I'm gonna guess for any newbies or whatever.
I guess I'd say one, have fun with it. Just make it because you like making songs. And also be willing to look back at your past stuff and see what you like about it, what you don't like about it, so you can keep improving.
Yeah.
And also look up tutorials, find the sort of knowledge you need, get ideas. Yeah.
Thank you, Vocaloid. Next is from Spider Muffin. What was your favorite Danganronpa fan song to make?
I mean, I did have a lot of fun with Cosmalaya, I guess, because there were no expectations at the time and I was just making it for fun. I also had a lot of fun with Lucky Me, just because, it came together pretty well. So probably those two.
Thank you.
Ironically, for my two favorite characters.
Thank you, Spider Muffin. Next is Ali1904. Will you ever make a song about Izuru? If not, that's fine. Also, have you had anything weird happen to you in any of the fandoms you were in? Okay.
I might make a song about Izuru. Not sure at the moment, so I'll have to see.
I feel like if you were gonna make a song about Izuru, I think it would be more a song about Hinata that also features Izuru as an element. Yeah,
definitely.
Because it's otherwise Izuru is also gonna be
just Izuru.
Born in the lab. How boring. Okay, anything weird happened to you in a fandom? I hope not.
No, I don't really. Not that I could think of.
Well, you can kind of count this as being kind of weird, getting interviewed.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright, thank you. Next is XT, who says, can you play instruments? Well, kind of, not really. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Would you add them to your music? If you got better at playing piano or guitar, would you record your, actual playing of instruments to use in a song? Or do you like the more synthesized versions anyway?
I mean, synthesized versions are generally easier to use because you don't have to learn a whole instrument to use them. But it would be cool to put some piano or guitar bits into a song. But I feel like I'd have to practice for at least a year or so to get to a level where it would sound good anyway.
Thank you, XT. Next is Nagito Kisser and Kaede Kids. Why did you decide to make a YouTube channel? And I love your videos. What is your favorite ship in Danganronpa? Oh, well, okay. And who's your comfort character? Okay, so why did you make the YouTube channel? I guess it was just so you could upload stuff in the first place.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know if I had like a specific goal in mind. Or if I just wanted to have fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any comfort characters in Danganronpa? You know, I don't know what the difference between a favorite character and a comfort character is. Like, does comfort just mean like if you're sad, you think of them and they comfort you? Like, you're like, oh, my sweetie.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess if that was what a comfort character means, then maybe like Kaede or Kibo.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
they would probably say something nice.
Yeah.
Komaeda would probably say something terrible.
Yeah. He'd say, "Oh, this despair is just a stepping stone for hope."
It's like, don't give up now. let your hope shine. It's like, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, my therapist. Anyway, next is from Guava-chan. Who's your favorite character from each Danganronpa? Oh, kind of done that already. Do you read fan fiction?
I used to, but I haven't recently. I do want to read fan fiction in Japanese so I can like learn Japanese while I'm doing it. Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Because, like, I don't really know where Japanese fanfiction could be found.
I did find a website. I don't know if it's fan fiction. I think it's mostly just, like, short stories people write. So,
that's pretty neat. Alright, thank you, Guava-chan. Let's keep going. Which song was most difficult for you to create? And why was it so difficult?
There's like bits in most of them where I had at least a bit of trouble, but in recent memory, I think there was some parts in Imperfect Fiction where for whatever reason I was just like having a lot of trouble trying to think of the right chords and the right notes and everything. And there was one chord where I like kept on changing it over and over, and I couldn't tell which one was the better one. And that was really frustrating. And also some lyrics where I was like, I don't know what to write.
I mean, do you ever show your like works in progress to anyone else, or is it all just like yourself, your own inputs?
Yeah, it's just been mine. Yeah, so I probably should get like more inputs though, because I think that would help me improve. But there's, I'd probably have to find them on the internet because I'm not aware of anyone in my life who is like really interested in that sort of stuff. Or knowledgeable.
Oh, well, I mean, like, I guess on that kind of topic, why did you ask Circus to help you tune Perfect Fiction? Is it because he had the voice bank, or?
Yeah, and also, yeah, I just felt like Gumi would work really well for that song. And it's also just a load off my shoulders, I guess, when I can go, hey, can you do, like, this part of the song? Because I am happy to tune myself, but it's much easier when someone else does it.
It's like, hey, bestie, can I get a favor, please?
Yeah.
That's fun, though.
Yeah, and it turned out really well. So, yeah.
Thank you to Alden Ramick. Let's keep going. Next is from Kuki Kizuchi. What was your first Vocaloid song, and how long ago was it? Actually, yeah, how long ago was Ephemeral?
good question. I would have to look at it.
It's like the mouse clicking noises. Like, of course I know. Actually, wait.
Yeah. 7 years ago, which I totally remember off the top.
Yeah. So, like, wait, you were then making music when you were still in high school, I guess, then?
Yeah.
Dang. I don't know, it's just like, it shouldn't be like too surprising, I suppose, because like, you know, as an artist, you've been drawing forever, but it's like, I don't know, when I think of music, I'm like, dang, you're making music in a teenager? Wow.
Well, I think it's similar to drawing that, like, you keep practicing it over time, and you eventually get better at it. So,
yeah. Alright, thank you for your question. Next is from Sakachi X Anime. How do you feel about AI versus Vocaloid versus Synth V? Does it scare you that a lot of people seem to be moving away from Vocaloid in favor of the other two? When they say AI, do they mean like AI voices and stuff like that? Taken from like characters or like actual voice actors? Because like, I gotta say, I'm not really a fan of that.
Yeah, it is a bit questionable morally, isn't it? Like, I don't know a lot about it either. But yeah, I've got to wonder if there'll be like some sort of law about that or something like that in the future. But when it comes to Vocaloid versus Synth V, I think it's good that people are using Synth V more because Synth V is like legitimately easier to use and it has so many features that I wish Vocaloid had. So hopefully it'll like get across to Vocaloid that, you know,
it should improve.
They should also add some of those features. Yeah, it's some good competition, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Of course, like, branding-wise, at least, Vocaloid is definitely the more iconic, like, name.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, thinking about the AI thing, I think someone did create an AI cover of Kazama Liar with, like, a Kokichi AI. And I'm just like,
I think I saw that.
I'm just like, I think for something like that, maybe it's somewhat harmless, unless like the actual voice creator like doesn't approve of it, or you don't approve of it, because like it's like it shouldn't be taken seriously at that time. Like at least it's just a song, you know, kind of thing. But like if they were to use the AI to like say really terrible things, then it's like that's really not on, guys. Yeah. As an idea, though, I think it's fun.
Yeah, I'm just going, you know, it's fine as long as no one's getting hurt. I don't really mind the AI covers, but you know, if the voice actor came and said, "No, I don't like this," then there would be a problem. So, yeah, I'm still unsure about it, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I feel like it's just like it's so easy for this stuff to become malicious and really negatively impact people in ways that like are beyond what a single person can imagine. Because if it becomes like an industry kind of thing, which we're kind of seeing, and it sucks that AI is becoming like implemented into like actual monetary projects. It's like, oh god, I don't want this to be the future.
Yeah, it is a bit concerning, but I guess all we can do is like see what happens, I guess. Like I guess technology is just at that point and we need to go through that process.
Yeah,
figuring that out.
Well, like you said, hopefully there's going to be some like more laws or some kind of like restriction to the usage of this kind of stuff. But yeah. Oh well, we'll just have to see. Anyway, thank you, Sakachi X Anime. Next is from Wince, who's also in the chat right now. Thank you, Wince Media. Could have sworn I posted my question here already, but I guess not. Whoops. What's the first steps you take when you make a song? I guess it's kind of like figuring out the chorus, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So let's skip the second question. What's your favorite lyric that you've written? Ooh, is there like a particular one that stands out to you and you think is smart? You're like, ooh, I like that one.
I don't know. There's probably like at least one lyric in every song that I like quite a bit. I mean, I do like a roller coaster that never ends. I keep thinking it'll crash, but the track just bend. I'm quite happy with that one. But I've written a lot of lyrics, so yeah, there's ones I haven't produced that I'm also pretty happy with.
Yee. Wynn's in the chat saying, that's such a good one! Yeah!
Thank you.
And I guess we've already covered the other questions in here. Was that really 50 comments? Or are some like not loading in? I don't really know.
It sort of felt quick.
Oh, someone else just posted one. So, a human on the internet asked, "What inspired you to start making fan songs?" I suppose it's just that you were thinking about Kokichi so much.
Yep. Kokichi entered my brain and did not leave.
Alright, now that we're done with your community post, I guess it's time for my community post, because Jesus Christ, there's so many! Anyway, the Semi-Watcher asks, have you finished Raincode, and which characters do you like, or are you interested in making a song about?
Yeah. So, yeah, I have finished, and there's 3 main ones I like. There's Vivia, there's Yomi, and then I think there's a character that you haven't run into yet.
Okay, so no mention yet.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
I think people might know, yeah.
People might know. No, nobody guess in the comments, okay? I have not met this character, probably. Next is from Chili Bean. So, do you have any other musicians that inspired you?
Yeah, like a lot of Vocaloid producers have inspired me. Especially like my favorites, Moretu and Kairiki Bear. Yeah. But also like English producers, like Ghost and Circus have inspired me quite a bit too.
Yeah. Oh, I could definitely see like a Ghost inspo. It's like a similar.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would describe your genre or like sound of music. It's not like I don't know. It's not like normal music. I think it's like the instruments you use, right? It's very synthesized. I don't know what the correct terms for this kind of thing is.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
But it's like not necessarily organic instruments.
Yeah. Whenever I post a song to Spotify, I have to say what genre it is. And every time I'm like, I have no idea. Electronic, I guess. So yeah.
I guess you've already said what your favorite songs are and favorite ones that you've made. So, just PS, love your music, and I'm so excited that my favorite YouTubers get to chat. Oh my god, we're your favorites!
Thank you.
Thanks! That's very sweet. Thank you, Chili Bee. Next question is from Sukizo Furenia. Okay, so we've already done favorite songs so far, so favorite Vocaloid, Utau, Synthvi. You've kind of also said, like, it's Fukase. But I wondered, like, is Fukase, because you say, like, you have to ask for permission. Do you have to ask for permission every time you make a new song, or is it just a one-time thing? Because I know you're not allowed to monetize stuff with his vocals, right?
Yeah, I think there's a weird thing where you can monetize it, but you're meant to give some of the like funding to the like Krypton or something, or whoever owns the vocal.
That's so weird.
So I did contact. Yeah, I did contact them about it and didn't really hear anything back. So I'm just going by the suggestion that, like, if they haven't said anything to me, then I guess there's no problem. And once they do, or if they ever do, then I'd be happy to, you know, do whatever agreement I have to. But yeah, at the moment I'm just like, oh, it seems fine.
They literally gatekeeping him. All right, thank you so much, Sukizo Furinio. Next is from Blue Corn Man. Great username. Why did it take so long for you to branch out as the V3 characters? Even though I love the fact that the songs were exclusively for them, there's a lot of materials for characters in the other installments too.
I think it's because like V3 was like the most fresh in my mind, so that helped with like knowing what to write. And also because it was the newest game, and because I made a V3 song, so people wanted more V3 songs. So mostly those reasons.
Well, now that you've done the Kobayashi song, I feel like that kind of opens the floodgates.
Yeah, maybe.
Now you're gonna get requests for every single character.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but again, just do whatever you want to do. Thank you, Blue Corn Man. Great username. Next is Snowy, Snow, who just says, "Ain't no way you're truly interviewing a legend itself. You're a legend, Mcki."
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It's like,
thank you, Snow.
You're too nice. Like, god damn it, you're too nice. I feel like a legend. Like,
Thank you, Snow. Next is from Vampicause, who also asked favorite character from each game, which we have answered. So thank you so much, Vampicause, for the question. And another one from Shinami. Which Vocaloids do you like tuning the most? I guess it would now have to be synth V vocals.
yeah, well, they are much easier to tune. So, yeah, I think I've got to, like, try more of the vocals in general, because I've just been sticking to Fukuse mostly. Yeah, so it's hard to answer that right now. But generally, understandable English vocals are going to be easier.
Especially because you are writing songs in English.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Thank you very much, Shinami. Next is from GTN Last Wish. Okay. Besides Danganronpa, are there any other media you've taken a liking to? Will we get more original content in other series, characters, fan songs? Okay, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe not just like game characters. Do you think you would ever create songs based on like even like books or like TV shows or anime kind of like characters?
I did sort of start writing a song for a character in Tokyo Revengers.
Oh!
And there are quite a few animes that I like. So yeah, I definitely have considered doing other songs based on that.
Do you think if you did that though, you would like not specifically say it was based on that character?
I don't know. If you say it's based on the character, then you might attract more people just because they like that character. So as long as there weren't any like copyright issues.
Yeah, that's like the main thing, right? It's like, are they gonna come after you for doing that?
Yeah. But I think if it's like a completely original song and you don't use like scenes from the anime specifically, then it should be fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe.
Thank you for your question, GTN Last Wish. Okay, so the next question is the same one from the Real Game Deity from the other community post, so we'll just skip over that one. Thank you. Sarah is addicted to Danganronpa. That's a great username. Favorite Danganronpa protagonist, support character, and antagonist. Okay, let's go with protagonist.
See, once again, it's hard to choose between like Hajime and Shuichi. I really like Kaede as well. She just didn't have like that much screen time.
Nope.
Yeah, I think I would have said Shuichi at one point. But I do also really like Hajime, and I like how he's a bit sassy as well. Very funny.
Yeah. He's got more attitude, I think. Shuichi's just kind of like, reasonable and sad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you for your question. Sarah is addicted to Danganronpa. Next we got Good Night. Who has a profile picture of the human Monokuma thing, which is disgusting. What got you into producing music? I guess that was just listening to music a lot. Also, is there any stuff you recommend for beginners? I guess we kind of already covered this, so we can skip this one, but I don't know if these are dumb questions or if someone already asked. I'm sorry if they are. No worries. Thank you for asking them. But yeah, we have covered them. I hope you enjoyed the answers, though. Thank you very much for sending in the question. Next is from Ghosty Stars. What's your favorite Danganronpa game and why? Well, I guess it's V3 overall, but yeah, like why is V3 your favorite?
I think I just like that, like, I think I like the cast overall more, just because they all pretty much have a part to play in the story. Whereas I didn't really like the survivors of Danganronpa 2 that much, because it was sort of like, yeah, they were there, they didn't really do that much in the story, and they didn't necessarily like change as people. Like, I'm pretty sure Sonya says the same thing in the first chapter as she does in the last chapter. Which is like, oh, we all have to work together, and So
I will say, I guess from the second game, out of the survivors, Hinata, so like Hajime and probably Fuyiko have like the strongest character arcs through the game.
Yeah.
I was expecting Kazuichi to die.
Yeah, I don't really like Kazuichi, to be honest.
Oopsie! Alright, you'll never make a Kazuichi song. Get that out now.
Kazuichi fans.
Get that out now so no one ever has to ask you.
Yeah. I think I've only been asked like once or twice, but yeah.
And another question, why do you use Miyu's song as an April Fool's Day prank?
Well, I guess, like, since I had first made the song, I pretty much made the song the first time for the ad that was in it, because I got an offer for like an amino ad. I don't know if I was really thinking of making a Miyu song. So I thought I'd make sort of a joke song with that. And then I wanted to like properly complete the song, and I saw an opportunity since people were also sort of expecting a Himiko song. So I was like, I should try this once. See if it's funny.
You're like, wow, Himiko! And then it's like, what? It's Miyu!
yeah, exactly. Like, some people were like, "Oh, Himiko's my favorite. I'm so excited for this song." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible person."
Oopsie. It's fine. Like, it'll come eventually.
Yeah.
And then people can't be mad at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Ghosty Stars. I know you're in the chat right now. Thank you so much for sending in the question. Next again is another question about Ganta. No, Boba. My only question, will you ever make a Ganta song? Probably not then.
Yeah, sorry. Someone else could make a Ganta song.
Yeah, someone else can. It doesn't just have to be you.
Yeah.
If someone really wants it, they can make it happen themselves, you know? So thank you, No, Booba. Boba? Not Booba! Frick. Okay. Anyway, Isabella Cruz Cherez? What was the first Vocaloid song you listened to, and who are your favorite Vocaloid producers? I guess we have covered both of these, so thank you so much for your question. Next is from Ulysses Frenid. Not Fred. Frenid. Do you ever plan to finish the cast for V3? That's a no. And what's your favorite character? Well, you've already answered, so thank you very much for your questions. Yes. Next is Shrugmoji. Hi again. How do you come up with the lyrics words for the songs? I guess it's just natural or forced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I generally like sometimes lyrics will just come to me like sort of out of nowhere. So I generally don't like sit down and go, okay, I'm gonna write lyrics about this right now. Because then sometimes I'm sort of forcing it and it just doesn't end up coming out that well. Yeah, but it's sort of hard to explain because sometimes I don't know how I came up with the lyrics.
It just comes to you in a dream. You're like, oh, inspiration!
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. I do get lyric ideas before bed for some reason.
Your brain is like, wait, before you sleep, write this down.
Yeah. Yeah, even if I'm really tired. Yeah.
Alright, thank you. Next, Wynn's already asked the question, so we're gonna skip that one. Thank you. Fan on Y mouse. Fan on Y mouse. Fanony mouse, maybe. How did you decide what Vocaloid voice to use for certain characters? I love your songs. I guess like you can go with that one. Is it mainly like you think this character sounds most like this vocal? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I just go through the ones I have or that I know of. And if it sounds sort of close to the character, then that's what I go with. I mean, has there ever been a time where you're like, oh, this one would be perfect, but they just can't pronounce the words correctly, so I have to use someone else?
Not yet. I mean, I do really want to be able to use Flower. But since she doesn't have a proper English voice bank, doing English is much harder than just using an English vocal.
Flower is cool.
Yeah.
If you do Flowers, like it's a Monokuma song because it's just white and black. Okay, thank you so much for your question, Fanany Mouse. Next is Loopsy the Loop. So many fun usernames people got.
Yeah, these are great names.
Okay, let me see if there's any question that hasn't been answered already. Oh, Revolution is such an underappreciated gem of a song. Please listen to Revolution. That's nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess not really questions, but honestly, Mcki has such amazing songs. Early memories of joining the fandom is listening to Cause I'm a Liar, and I'm excited to see them grow even more. Aw.
Oh, thank you.
That's so sweet. Everyone's so nice.
I know, right?
Thank you. We already answered all these questions, but that's a very nice thing to say. Thank you, Loopsy the Loop.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but the last one! This is from Crimson J, the Super High School level executioner. I guess we've answered all of these, but do you want to make music production your career? I suppose, like, if you had the choice to, if like money wasn't the issue, would that be something you would do full time?
If I didn't have to do uni, I guess it would be. But the degree I'm doing is for a job that I also really want to do because it'd be really fun. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I'll just stick to trying to do both.
All right. Well, again, thank you for all the questions from the audience. That was really lovely. Thank you, everybody. That took forever.
Yeah,
but we're gonna be slowly wrapping up now. So I was wondering, do you have a question for me?
Oh, I did already ask you, like, what your favorite character is from Raincode.
Well, haven't got that far yet. That was like before the stream.
Yeah, true.
But basically, I guess my answer to that so far is I like Shinigami. I think she's cute. I like her design. I also like, for some reason, like, I don't know how this happened. At some point in my life, you know, actually, you know what? It was Kalmaida. At some point in my life, you know, the characters who are like, they're like the I don't know, they make like horny jokes and stuff. I'm like, haha, that's funny. How did I get here? How did I get to this point? How did I become this kind of person? So I like Shinigami.
So Shinigami is you.
Oops. Is that a good thing? No. But for anyone who's also like been watching my playthrough of Raincode, you'll know that I'm unfortunately somewhat obsessed with Zilch Alexander, and I need him out of my brain. It was a joke. It was a joke that I got attached to him, and now it can't leave my brain. Anyway, so that's my answer to that. But yeah, I mean, do you have any other questions?
There's questions I want to ask about, like, animation and stuff, but I can't.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Specific question.
Although I could probably only answer related to storyboarding.
Like how long does it take to, like, make the animations on your channel and stuff?
Oh, like the animatics? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess I can say for the Tsumugi one, because like I have a couple of animatics, but they were all like made on different like time periods, I suppose. So, for example, like the villain one, right? I had planned like the year before because I wanted to release it for Tsumugi's birthday. And at the time, I wasn't done yet. I had only just started, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just release what I have right now as a whip. And then I'll try to finish it maybe next year for her birthday again. So that was kind of my like planning for it. After I uploaded the whip, I probably worked on like the full draft, like the first pass for it, and then I didn't touch it for a while. I don't know about you, but I was like, I can't be bothered to work on this right now. And then I remember as her birthday was approaching again, I was like, okay, I have to work on this. I don't want to miss the deadline. But I think it was a good thing to take a break in between because I was definitely like, I had more ideas as the time passed, and I was like, oh, you know what? I could do this better. So, at least for the villain animatic, that was over a year's worth of time, but not necessarily that I spent the whole year working on it. The current animatic that I'm working on, is for Sayaka Maizono. And it's based on Circus's Slasher song. But like, okay, so what happened was last year, I also did a first pass of it, and then I was like, yeah, I'll finish it next year. I have not touched it. I have not touched it since last year, and Sayaka's birthday has already passed this year, so I'm like, oops. So I don't know, maybe before the end of the year I'll try to finish it and upload it, but I don't normally work so consistently on them. Like for the shorter little animation clips I do, it's a way shorter time span. Maybe like I'll spend a day or like a week or something to finish them off. But if it's something longer, like a full song thing, that definitely takes a way longer time, just because like I need the time to think about how I want to approach it, because like I try to put a lot of like interesting visual imagery that like conveys messages, like so strong compositions. But I'm also like, you know, I can't just work on this all the time. There was like a pressure, I feel like, definitely also kind of like with the villain animatic. That's where most of my YouTube subscribers came from, I would say. And then I was like, I'm not making animatics on my channel all the time. It's like, that's not what I want to do. I will get burnt out if that's the only thing people expect from me. So I'm kind of glad that the people who probably watch my channel now aren't only expecting me to make animatics, because I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So thank you for still sticking with me, even if you came for the animatic and you were like, there's no more. Where are the animatics? I'm like, sorry. But yeah, timing wise, it just depends on like how I feel or how motivated I am for a project. But you know, my aim was to finish the Sayaka one for her birthday this year. That did not happen. I did not touch it. I have not touched it for a year. Oops. Sorry.
I totally understand that.
Maybe later. Maybe later. Okay. With that, I will move on to the question that Ibu, our last guest, prepared for you. So, technically, we've kind of answered this a little bit first. So the first question that Ibu had was, which part of the songs do you figure out first? Is it different for original and character-inspired songs? Like, do you figure out lyrics or music first? In general, where does the inspiration or motivation come from? Because I know nothing about making music, so I'm interested in learning.
Yeah, I mostly start with the chorus first. There's occasionally times where I'll start with another part of it, but yeah, I don't know why, it just feels easier to go with the chorus first, generally.
Because I kind of have a question on, sorry to interrupt you, I kind of have a question about that. So you say like sometimes you write lyrics first, but like to me, like my brain kind of thinks that you would make the music first and then you would find lyrics that fit the timing of like the musical parts. Is that not how you work then?
It's sort of a combination of both. But the issue is if you have a melody first and then you try to put lyrics into it, then you already have like restrictions on the lyrics you can use. So there may be something you want to convey, but now you have to fit it into this certain like mold that you've created. And that can restrict things quite a lot. Whereas if you do the lyrics first, you can be as like creative and open as you want to, and then you can like hone it down like for the melody to make it more catchy or something like that. Yeah, but
I never thought about that way.
Like I'll write a verse. Yeah. Like sometimes I'll write a verse and then the next verse has to be the same melody as the first one. So I am like using the melody first in that case. And that's when it can be like the hardest to write lyrics because it's like, okay, I have a ton of restrictions. Yeah.
I
So it's a
see.
bit of both.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting me know about that. Okay, about like the motivation part.
Like listening to other people's music, I guess. Like sometimes I'll have not worked on music for quite a while, and then I'll hear a song and go, "Oh my god, I'm so motivated to make music again now! Like I want to make something like that."
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought you would be like, for like example, like making the original songs, you would be like, I'm really motivated to like make something new today. Like, let's just try do it. Or do you have like more of a concrete goal in mind?
I mean, generally for original lyrics, I just like let them come out whenever I think of them. Because I have so many lyrics at this point, I don't really need to sit down and go, I want to write specifically about this. It's like, okay, well, you already have like 10 lyrics you could choose from. Why don't you just produce one of those ones instead? So I just write lyrics when an idea comes to me, and then I build on it pretty much.
Sweet. All right. And then the second question that Ibel had was, what do you recommend to a complete beginner or novice trying to get into making music? Like programs or tips or what to start with, anything like that. I suppose like, since we've kind of covered this topic, then maybe like, like you mentioned the free program at first, like would you say, because like, you know, Vocaloid and Synthv are programs and stuff, software that you have to pay for, would you recommend that people, if they are interested, to like just start with like Utaru and just whatever you said was the free thing, the LMMS?
Yeah, I think, well, it's good to know at first that you really are interested in it before like diving in and buying all the expensive stuff, because the programs you buy will make it easier, but if you spend heaps of money on them and then you eventually go, oh, I don't actually like making music that much, then you've just spent a heap of money. So yeah, another tip I would say is like learn about keys, because I think that was the main thing, that like the main piece of music theory that I needed to know to help me to make songs. Because once you experiment with the keys, like the notes in the key, and you figure out the roles each note plays in a key, it becomes much easier to make like cool melodies. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. That will cover all of Ibel's questions. So thank you again, Ibel, for the questions for Mcki. It is now time for us to reveal the next guest for Cheese to Meet You. If you would like to do a little drum roll for me. I always lost my... it was like... I always ask my guests to do the drum roll. It's been really funny. I can't remember who, but like it was like they were destroying their table. But yes, it's time to reveal the next guest for next time's Cheese to Meet You, and here we go! Hello! Okay, so the next guest is Kate from Amuse, who people might not be able to recognize. maybe there's less recognition here, but Kate is a dear friend of mine, so let me go to this screen. Kate is a dear friend of mine who is an idol. She is, I guess you would call them overseas kind of idol. I don't know. I'll probably ask her for more info when we get there. But yeah, Kate is a good friend of mine. She's from this like indie idol group in Australia called A-Muse. I definitely recommend you guys checking out her works with the group A-Muse, but she's also a streamer, and she also cosplays, and she loves Danganronpa, and like, you know, I'm just in general, like, I'm really excited to speak with her as my next guest. And I'm also like wondering, like, am I gonna have to be on video call? Like, because she doesn't have a VTuber or anything, so I'm like, what do I do? Am I gonna have to be on Facecam? We'll figure that out for next month. But yeah, I was wondering, what question do you have for Kate?
All right, I have 2 questions.
Oh yes.
So if you become any character in Danganronpa and dances them, who would you choose? And if you had to have like a dance battle against any Danganronpa character, who would you choose? I think it's a hard question because there's no ultimate dancer.
Well, there kind of. So the first question was, if she became a Danganronpa character and had to dance, which one would it be? Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the second one's like, who would she have a dance battle with?
Yeah.
I think that's fun. Thank you so much, Mcki. And again, thank you for being a guest on my Cheese to Meet You interview show. Again, like, I was really excited to talk to you because at some point we were almost gonna meet in person as well, right? But then that didn't happen. But that's okay. I hope we can meet in person at some point too. But yeah. Thank you so much for coming and being my guest on Cheese to Meet You. It was very exciting, and I hope that everyone who's interested in your work also learned a lot of stuff today. So we're gonna like show where people can find you. You know, I don't know what's going on with Twitter, but if Twitter keeps surviving, you'll be on Twitter.
Yeah.
I have the links. I'll have the links in the description of this stream or /VOD. But yeah, definitely go check out Mcki on on Twitter. But also, you have a Ko-fi page and Bandcamp page, where if you want to support Mcki monetarily, you can go there and send a tip or something. So, just wanted to do that. Is there anything else you want to promote, actually, for the time being?
No, that's pretty much it, I think, besides the YouTube channel.
Yeah, go listen to Mcki's songs. Go listen to every song that Mcki has made that you haven't listened to yet.
Maybe not everyone, but...
Okay, all the recent ones. But, yeah. Thank you so much. I think we're good to go for today. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
I really enjoyed this conversation, and it was fun learning about your process for music and all of that, because you know, as a fan of your Danganronpa fan songs as well, I've got to say, like, it was really cool to me to see you make all of these, and I was like, oh my god, a Danganronpa fan who also makes Vocaloid music and is making character songs. I don't know, it was just like super sweet, because I believe there have been like parody songs for Danganronpa maybe, but like definitely not to the scale or consistency that you've done. So I just think, as a fan of both things, like, it's been really cool to see your work and like see you make so many songs. So I wanted to like just personally thank you. And you're cool.
Thank you so much for listening to them.
All right, everybody, we're gonna say goodbye now. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, maybe I'll finish my Sayaka one. And I hope people like will use your songs for more animatics too, because like, who knows? Maybe I'll make one based on one of your songs in the future.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for coming to the stream. And we'll say goodbye now. See ya. Bye bye everyone.
Bye bye.